6:04, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, off and running. Brian here with you, Bree Lynn producing, getting you ready for a Thursday show as we're diving back into the state legislature because tomorrow is map day, checking in with Visit Baton Rouge because it is Travel and Tourism Week. Speaking of the legislature, State Representative Dixon McMakin stopping by. We're not talking about his work in the session this time around, though. That'll be the next visit. This time, I want to talk about Amendments 3 and 4 on your ballot right now. And by the way, broadcasting live from the 180 Pros studio. 180 Pros, not your IT provider, your IT partner. Starting you off at 64 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge. Let's get right to it. Top stories and trending. Let's go. It's the first thing I do. I should put it on the top of the stack. There's no reason for top stories and trending to be midway down my stack. 6 Louisiana energy startups are sharing nearly $1.2 million in funding through the second round of proof of concept awards from Future Use of Energy in Louisiana, aka Fuel. It's going to help early stage companies move from development to commercial application by bridging the gap between invention and market entry. Most of the awards are right around $200K. They involve not just generating new sources of fuel, but better utilization of what we have. This week is Get a Game Plan Week as the governor's Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness urges the state to get ready for hurricane season, which starts on June 1st. By the way, we are expecting 11 to 16 storms, 5 to 7 serious, 3 to 5 to make U.S. landfall. The state Senate unanimously voted to pass an amended bill by Alan Seabaugh that would expand the definition of first-degree murder, effectively expanding the list of those eligible for the death penalty, which the author of the amendment says is in direct response to the fatal mass shooting out at the Mall of Louisiana from a couple weeks ago. Baton Rouge Fire Department says a hazmat unit was called in to work a chemical spill on Scenic Highway. Officials said that as a building was being torn down around Scenic and 70th Street, a few drums of, quote, caustic substance were spilled. City officials said the company that was at the building previously left the chemicals behind. BRFD says there were no impacts to the public. Takes us right back to our check of traffic right there. We are looking at major slowdowns on I-12 westbound. It starts up around, or it'll culminate at Airline Highway where the two right lanes are blocked. This is due to an accident that happened a little more than half an hour ago. Maybe about 40 minutes ago was when the accident happened. Here it is. First reported at 5:26 a.m. So traffic is stopped, and I mean stopped, all the way back to the O'Neill exit, and that's just going to get worse as volume increases.
Well, a suicide note allegedly left behind in his jail cell by the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein before his first attempt to kill himself said, in quote, "It is a treat to be able to choose one's time to say goodbye."
Time to say goodbye.
My God.
Did that say his first attempt to kill himself?
First attempt. Yes, his first attempt. Yes.
Maybe I'm just forgetting this because so much time has passed.
Remember, he was placed on suicide watch. Remember that?
I don't. Because if he'd already attempted to kill himself,
right?
How was he able to kill himself?
Well, I'm still one of those people that scream from the rooftops that Epstein didn't kill himself. But
Epstein's former cellmate, Nicholas Tartaglione, a convicted quadruple murderer, claimed that he found the note tucked in a book in the days after Epstein's first suicide attempt back in 2019. Yeah, it's the first one, yeah. At the time, Epstein denied being suicidal, told the psychologist, "I have no interest in killing myself." A federal judge ordered the note unsealed on Wednesday, giving the public and investigators their first look at the purported suicide note.
But how? Because Epstein had been previously placed on suicide watch. Then it was removed. I read reports that, interesting. So we're going to hear more about this note, I'm sure, in the next couple of days. Yeah. The Strong World Video Game Hall of Fame is scheduled to announce this year's class. I didn't know they have a whole award show for video games.
Yes. I didn't know this either.
Legit.
This was news to me. And when I first saw this story, I thought it was like, are we putting gamers in a Hall of Fame? No, it's not the case.
That's how I read it.
The games themselves make the Hall of Fame.
So your Fortnite, your Roblox, I'm just naming off the ones my kids play. Minecraft.
Let's see here.
That's interesting. So it's not gamers.
Finalists include Angry Birds, Dragon Quest.
Okay.
The Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim.
Yeah, Skyrim.
FIFA International Soccer.
Yep.
Frogger, Galaga. Sorry. League of Legends, Mega Man. I remember this one from when I used to work at Blockbuster. Parappa the Rapper.
What?
Oh, that was a big old Sega Genesis game for like a week and a half.
I've never heard of that.
Parappa the Rapper.
You said Frogger, that's my jam.
RuneScape, Silent Hill, and Tokimeki Memorial.
RuneScape. I remember playing RuneScape way back in the day. I didn't even know it's around still.
I mean, I've heard of 3 of these. 4. No, 5.
Huh.
Heard of 5.
Pretty cool. Okay. Don't know how we missed it yesterday, but 10K Sports Drink is back.
Let's go.
What is this?
This is the 90s. This was the 90s. 10K is like Gatorade.
I was going to say, is it a sports Gatorade type?
Yeah, I don't know if it's just like a local grocer who's doing this or if 10K is coming back for real, but it's being made with Louisiana cane sugar this time around. So,
do you know how good that?
Oh, I know. I can't wait. You know what? We need to make sure we have some in studio when Dr. Strain's in next week.
Okay. I would be fine having our own version of Coke, but with real Louisiana cane sugar.
It's different with Coke. I don't know what the Coke formula is perfect. Like,
don't mess it up. Yeah.
But with the 10, I need to go get some 10K today. 10K was the drink, the sports drink of the 90s to me.
See, I feel like because I was a
stop
gymnast.
in at a Time Saver.
Okay.
Remember Time Saver?
Yes.
Well, I don't know if they ever had Time Saver in Baton Rouge, but yeah, stopping at a Time Saver, we get a 10K on the way to whatever game we were going to.
I feel like I had it because I was a gymnast and we would carry it at the gym.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to look at a picture of
it.
As
soon as you see the 10K like 3D block letter logo, you'll be like, oh yeah, that was totally it.
So cool.
So 10K is back. I love that. All right. 612 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Coming up at 7:15, Jordan Generous from Neurojust is going to join us. So let me take a quick second to remind you about what Neurojust does. If you are battling with anxiety or depression, or a family member or loved one is, and they're showing that the treatment they're going through isn't really taking, whether they're doing the sit down, talk it out therapy, or they've been prescribed something, an antidepressant, don't like the way you feel on prescription drugs, you're seeing diminishing returns as a result, whatever the case might be, you're not getting it from your treatment what you think you should be, give Neurojust a look. Neurojust. That's how you spell it. That's where you're going to find the website. Is it neurojust.com? Neurojust. Neurojust.com. When you get there, you can learn all about what TMS therapy is, transcranial magnetic stimulation. It targets areas of the brain that affect the mood. Think of it like physical therapy for your brain. By the way, insurance picks up the tab. That's the best part. If you want to give them a call, they're 225-330-7382, 225-330-7382, but I would start over at neurojust.com.
Oh my God, yes.
What?
The 10K.
There you go.
No shit. We did have these at the gym because we sold them in the vending machine. Holy crap! I forgot about that. I don't remember if it was good or not. Then was it good? It was real sugary, wasn't it?
Nostalgia is always good. Everything's going to be remembered better than it was. I don't remember if it was good or not. I remember it was what I went to. It was my go-to.
Yes. Oh wait, the commercial for it. Hang on. From 1993. You heard about Mississippi? They got a tornado last night.
Yeah, it's 3 different school districts are just not going to school today because they took damage. So there was the TV commercial for 10K. The TV commercial for 10K featured Jim Mora, Mike Archer, Buddy Tevens, and then Dale Brown came in at the end as a waiter. Well, you can leave, sir.
I started with Gatorade in the 70s and just stayed.
That's what I was. I don't remember if it was good or not. I think I remember it being overly sugary.
I don't remember. I just remember.
Who the hell remembers something being overly sugary from your childhood? Everything in your childhood should be overly sugary. That's. I'm talking to her. I remember being overly sugary.
Well, yeah, well,
You know, I didn't like the blue icy either. Like,
I'm comparing it to what the us pregnant ladies have to drink when we go for our gestational checks at 25 weeks, and they give you that real sugary drink that you have to drink. That's what I think of when I think of 10K. I feel like it tasted like that.
Yep, I was one of those brand loyal starting early, get them hooked on, stay with them forever.
618 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Let me take one quick moment to remind you about One Bath and Closets, ONE. OneBathAndClosets.com is the website. 400-8005 is the phone number. Of course, that's a 225 number, or you just go ahead and call David Duvall over at One Bath and Closets. Do like I did. Christy and I, we were done with our old bathroom. Old master bath. House was built in 1964. Definitely needed an update. Definitely needed an upgrade. We gave David a call, said, what can you do? He comes on out. David comes out and just works with you within your space. And that's, you know, the collaboration starts from there. And whatever you could dream up that fits, he can make it happen. And it was and is to perfection. Enjoying it every single day. Went from one old vanity and some dim lighting in an old school 1960s bathtub to now we've got separate vanities, walk-in shower, and it's lit up like a ballpark. So loving the work from One Bath and Closets, onebathandclosets.com. Very, very quick sports segment here. Just enough to tell you that LSU ran into a buzzsaw last night when it comes to softball. Their stint in the SEC tournament was short-lived. Beth Green and her Tigers fall to Georgia 7-3, your final score there, which means now it's just a waiting game. Where will you be seated? The NCAA selection show will be May 10th, and we'll know where LSU softball is headed. Baseball, on the baseball side, well, they're going to be on the road at Georgia this weekend for a 3-game set. Coming up on 620 at Talk 107.3 FM. Quick break. When we come back, let's talk a little bit about the elections that are continuing. That'll be next. What are the Carter cuts titled? And were there 2 or 3?
Carter 1 is mid-decade redistricting. Carter 2, did we do it right with free?
And
Carter 3, irreparable harm.
Okay.
Do you need me to play them?
Nope. I remember what they were.
Are we going to start with 1 and work our way down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you open the playlist editor and set the breaks to default instead of timescale with Phil?
Huh?
Can you, in the log, can you open playlist editor and set the breaks to default instead of timescale with Phil?
I don't know if I know how to do that. I'm not trying to sound stupid. I'm in the playlist. Is that Katie?
Yeah.
Tell him to text me. I probably do, because I've probably done it before. Probably did it before.
Got to start off on I-12 westbound, though not where we normally start off for I-12 west. Actually, no, let's go ahead and start right there. I-12 westbound, right around Range Avenue. As soon as you're on the interstate, you're going to come to a stop. And it's going to be slow rolling at best all the way through Airline Highway. That is because at about 10 minutes after 5 this morning, maybe 20 minutes after 5, we saw an accident with injuries. I-12 westbound in between Airline and Sherwood. And it is has been blocking the right 2 lanes since. In fact, let me see if I got an update on whether or not those lanes are open yet or not. No. We did have an injury in the crash. There was one injury in the crash, but the two right lanes are blocked. So what you're looking at right now is just slow going at best. I would highly, highly recommend, if you've not yet headed into Baton Rouge from Denham Springs, if Florida Boulevard is possible for you, I would recommend Florida Boulevard to be sure. Meanwhile, it's just stop and go on 12 West. 10 West is looking great if you're coming in from Ascension Parish. 10 East is looking great if you're coming from West Baton Rouge Parish, and I-110 is wide open as well. Now, as far as surface streets are concerned, you could expect an increase in volume on your surface streets because of those who are bailing off of 12. But as it stands right now, the majority of that volume is on Old Hammond Highway. So people get into O'Neill, people get into Millerville. They're seeing how stacked up it is. They're looking to bail there. So Livingston Parish folks, get around it. Get around it early. Now, also, we've got a brand new accident. Greenwell Springs, Port Hudson Road at Pears Road. Believe I have that right. It's being worked by the sheriff's office right now. It came across literally 1 minute ago. That's your look at traffic from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center. Being worked by the sheriff's office. 625 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. I'm gonna get to Haggai Davis and a cup of tech gumbo about 10 minutes from right now. Right now, though, I want to rewind the clock. Sometimes we forget in radio that everyone's life is just kind of going on, right? As your routine is what your routine is, and if you're listening at 6:25 in the morning, you're probably not listening at 8:40 in the morning. You're probably already at work, crushing your emails, returning phone calls, whatever the case might be, on your second cup of coffee, however it breaks down, right? Well, 8:35 every Tuesday morning, we visit with Congressman Troy Carter, a little segment we call DC Current. The great folks at LABI bring you that every week. And this week, in talking with Congressman Carter, we had a very open and honest discussion about the elections rolling on without congressional races being open. And I highly recommend, for the full conversation, it's available at talk1073.com. Highly recommend checking it out. I don't plug enough of what we got over at talk1073.com because we do post up a lot of the content we do here. But for this particular segment, I will say it's more than worth your time to go back and listen to that conversation. Now, if you're saying to yourself, Brian, I don't like Congressman Carter. I'm a Republican. He's a Democrat. Well, I'm a Republican and he's a Democrat. And we just break it down like two dudes. Now, he had a lot to say on Tuesday, obviously not happy with the fact that the congressional races have been put on pause because of the redistricting. And the way I set the tone for the conversation was, well, what do you expect the governor to do? Send people to the polls to vote on what has already been declared an unconstitutional district? And, well, we're going to skip to cut two. Breland, I told you they'd be in order. They're not going to be in order. He actually gave me some historical precedent for why that would have been a good idea, because according to Congressman Carter, it happened 4 years ago. Cut two.
No, we didn't do it wrong. Then we applied the principle that's generally applied all over the country.
And it wasn't 24, it was 22, though, because Congressman Fields was elected in 24.
Yeah, that's what I said 4 years ago.
Okay, 4 years ago. Yeah.
I said 4 years ago.
My bad. I thought you said 24. All right, so...
no, that's okay. No, I said 4 years ago.
So we did it right by allowing to move forward with an unconstitutional district.
Yeah, no, we did it right because you roll the dice with confusion and causing a conflict with the electorate when you do this in the middle of an election, because people are already engaging. This is not my rule. It's referred to a Purcell rule across the country where the courts have said it's too close. So we'll fix it. No, I don't think they did it wrong before. I think we're doing it wrong now.
The congressman went on to say, because if you rewind the clock back to 2022, we had the same problem with districts then, because everybody who said it's simple math, that was the wrong take. It's not simple math. It's not about numbers. It's about people. And building out a congressional district is about more than just counting heads and pointing out who's what color. So it wasn't about simple math then. It's not about simple math now. And when you broke it down, we rolled the dice then to say, let's go ahead and have the election. If we have to change the district, we will. That was Congressman Carter's point right there. Now, if you rewind the clock, though, you also have to remember that we hadn't yet changed over. We didn't go from we were still at the traditional District 6, not this snaked, gerrymandered thing that we had to create in a laboratory. So fast forward to go along with that. I'm looking at the clock. We're not going to have time, are we? All right. Fast forward to go along with that, where we are right now. The congressman's take was simply, you do irreparable harm if you have an election and you don't allow people to vote in a certain race. He went a little bit hyperbolic on it from there, which I expect because he's good at that. And I say that with love. But when you break it down, it's all right, we got to get to news. When you break it down, I'm curious to know how many people out there comment on our Facebook live feed. How many people out there have early voted already? And did you go ahead and vote anyway? I want to do a little informal poll. That's where we're going with all this. It's still on the ballot. Did you click it?
Yeah, Congressman's longest is 50 seconds. We did that one 40, 30 seconds.
It's fine. That's all the rest was just ramp up to say, go ahead and vote. Okay. I want to like, and when I mapped out doing this, I wasn't expecting traffic to run me a minute and a half. That ate up way too much time. Kill the microphones, please. That's as loud as it goes?
Yeah, it's in JP's folder. I'm pulling out all
Yeah.
his cuts and yeah.
Oh man, it's some all gone Pete Tong right here.
This is as loud as it goes. I wish I can crank it,
Rest
but
in weary bones.
what is this?
Oh, this is. Do you know who Pete Tong is?
No,
Okay, British DJ.
I like it.
No, it's some good early 2000s house music.
Okay.
Yeah. 637 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. You dug that one out. 637 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. We got a lot of ground to cover here because it's time for a cup of Tech Gumbo. What you say, Haggai?
Getting ready for Mother's Day, Brian. This weekend.
Yeah, Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to. I mean, it's. A
Are
big
the
deal.
plans secret or?
No. It's upon request at the house.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh yeah.
That kind of Mother's Day. Like,
oh yeah. Absolutely.
It's the honeydew day.
Whatever mom wants, mom gets.
I know. I understand. See, we're in a different phase of life right now where like it's actually like I'll be on the road and Christy will be at home. So yeah. Well, we got basketball outside of town, so that's just the way that works. Hopefully, putting something together on the back end. We will see if we can make that happen. In the meanwhile, though, we got a lot of ground to cover here. Hey, before we get started, Moral Dilemma Monday was a tech topic this week.
How was it?
How much do you trust AI to do your shopping?
Oh, that's interesting. It depends. Have you set up an account and have you been building your profile in your AI, or are you just going to ChatGPT and say,
let's start with ChatGPT. Let's start there.
Well, let's use Claude because I don't really care for ChatGPT.
Okay,
but I do have I have a subscription with Claude. I like Claude, and so I've been using it now for about 6 weeks or so, and I would say I would with the 35%, I would trust it to get it right the first time.
Okay.
But then I would comb through it and make sure everything it says I needed is right. And once it had that out there, then I would go with it.
Now, when I said to do your shopping, did you instantly think I was talking about groceries?
Yes.
What else talking about your clothing?
No.
Why not?
Well, because I'm pretty weird about the clothes that I wear. I'm like
Haggai, you and I look. We may have a generational gap between us, but we're both polo and khakis guys. Like this, neither one of us is like Franz in it.
Oh
over here.
no. I'm
okay.
But I mean, even at that, I mean, like I'm still very particular, even though it's very basic what I wear. I wouldn't wear the stuff that Franz wears.
Right.
And hey, Franz, if you want to pull it off, he's good at it.
He's good at it. No,
I'm not.
I say it with love.
Totally respect. I mean, I'm very basic with. I mean, it's almost like Garanimals in my closet.
Pretty much
everything works with everything else for a reason.
Now, I will say this though: every time I get with the guys from Haspel, every time Will Swilly comes around from him, I push the edge of the envelope a little bit. I push myself just a little bit. Oh no, they're gone now. But like, yeah, every time. Because I'm so happy with myself every time I do, but then I revert right back to polo and khakis. Yep. So thank God Haspel's got polos. But what if I were to tell you that when it comes to clothes shopping, there is a product / service in the works right now that could be a complete game changer to where you ever seen the 3D photo booths at when you go to a party?
Yep.
What if that were taking all of your measurements to perfection? And then you were able to say, this is what I like. This is exactly how I'm built. Roll with it.
It would be interesting to give it a try. I still would be reluctant to turn 100% of the everything over to it. I would start with it, say, sure, let's give it a look-see, and just, but like with any AI tool, yes, go ahead and let it do its thing, but then go back and verify that what it did was right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's been a consistent message for years now with us, or at least with me, when it comes to AI. Use the tool, verify what the tool has produced.
Right. It's kind of a game changer. This like the 3D imaging, 3D graphic imaging, and whatnot. And I learned about it at the Young Entrepreneurs Academy at their pitch night.
Nice.
A local girl from St. Joseph's High School, a local girl, her name's Whitney. It's called Perfecta, and this is where it's going right now. And like when you walk into like a boutique or whatever, it not too far in the future, you could see this technology on hand at the boutique where, okay, go stand over there. Now we've got all your perfect measurements. Now we, from top to bottom, and we know how to point you in the right direction from here. So I would take that, translate it into, now let me plug that into whatever else AI is working with to where when I shop online.
So I used Claude to rebuild the Tech Gumbo website.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it was an old, flat 1998 looking website beforehand. Mm-hmm. All new graphics. The site looks really, really good, and Claude built it all, and kept having to tweak it off and on. It would come up with something, and I'd change this, and it would change whatever I'd asked it to change. And once it gave me the graphics and gave me everything, I just uploaded it to the website, and so now it's a modern day looking website for Tech Gumbo.net. Go check out the website. It's all generated by Claude. And I'm not an HTML coder. I don't know any of that,
right.
But this thing Claude did a great job building the website.
Haggai Davison for Cup of Tech Gumbo. We got a couple minutes before we take our first break. Sorry to derail it like that. I know we got topics to cover this morning, but this was one of those ones that popped up in real life, not once, but twice.
Mm-hmm.
And if there is an opportunity for a young entrepreneur in
Sure.
Baton Rouge,
I love it,
to change the game, I think that's going to be a big headline 2 years from now, 3 years from now, whatever, like being in on the early stages of it.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love the idea.
All right. Now, as we get started, I start with what was right at the top of the list for what you had on this week's prep. Photoshop was a mistake.
It wasn't a mistake. It started 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, he was finishing his PhD at Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
His brother was working at Industrial Light and Magic,
mm-hmm.
and he needed some help with some images. And so he was talking to his brother, said, "Hey, you're good with computers. Can you do something with these pictures?" And so the brother just said, "Well, if we converted the entire image to ones and zeros, made it all digital,
yep,
and then convert it back to an image, then we can change everything we want." And it was all about grayscale, and because it wasn't in the color and everything at that point. Everything was just either black or white.
Okay.
And so he developed multiple levels of gray inside of an image, and so he could start changing images around. And once he had that working, ILM started using it, and they were having fun with some of the images. Then they finally took it to Adobe, and they'd shopped it around to several companies, and several companies had passed on it. Adobe said, "Yep, we got it," and it's been going ever since.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I love that. That's serendipitous at worst.
Cool thing is they just donated the code from Photoshop 1 to the Computer Museum Hall of Fame, and it's 20 years of Photoshop, or 30 years of Photoshop.
Wow.
35 years, however 40, almost 40 years, excuse me, almost 40 years.
The user friendliness of it today versus just 20 years ago is crazy as well.
Oh, absolutely.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll check traffic. We'll check your money now. Cup of Tech Gumbo continues next on Talk 107.3.
Saturday. 73. I'm sorry. Wrong password.
Dick Durbin is in commercials.
It's connected back to something they're working on at the Capitol. It's not about Dick Durbin. It's about the policy.
Mm.
It's a poorly written ad. But we'll take their money.
Of course.
So apparently I don't have access to that program.
And I don't remember how to get in on my laptop. So
I know. I was like, I know I'm.
You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
and my phone has decided to tell me that my storage is completely full. And no matter how much I delete, it's telling me I have to delete more. So I think I'm finally close to being in the clear.
Or you have to buy a bigger subscription.
I'm not buying bigger anything. I will delete my children's childhood.
Have you done the hard reset? Turn it off and turn it all the way back on?
Yeah. When I ran the most recent update, it's been telling me this like nonstop since then. And I keep deleting shit. I keep deleting shit. I've deleted about 7 or 8 apps that I honestly didn't need. They were just sitting there.
Do you have many podcasts downloaded?
Not that I know of.
Because those will choke down a phone real fast.
You know, and I bet I've got a bunch of other files as well. Look, I still haven't figured out how to have my Apple Watch stop calling me Anna. So
At least it's calling you Anna, not something else starts with an A.
right. I'm currently using 126.26 gigs of 128. So I've got 1.5 or 1 3/4 to spare. But where would I podcasts 2.26?
Yeah, I'm not even close to 50%. I'm at 107 of 256 gigs.
Wait, hang on. Why would these be? I thought I listened to podcasts in real time. I don't think I download them.
Oh, it probably does it for you.
Because of the autofill. That's what he's talking about. The autofill. We needed to put it back to default to where. Let's see what that does. Now I'm down to 124. That killed 2 gigs right there.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So if you have Spotify, if you have your iTunes or your Apple music or whatever the Apple app is, whatever app that might play music, it's probably grabbing podcasts whether you're listening to them or not.
Well, no, the 2 podcasts that were listed are podcasts that I listen to. Michelle's Only in Louisiana from way back when, which and she I enjoyed it thoroughly, so I'm super happy she is.
I did too. I enjoyed it.
And then Business Wars is the other one. But I listen to Business Wars through my podcast app, so it shouldn't be downloaded.
But a lot of times it will.
Okay.
Because I've got to go through.
Do we bumper?
No.
Are we back in?
Not yet. We're in the spot that plays on your phone.
Okay. I wasn't hearing that in my headphones.
Like Tech Gumbo will load on my phone, even though I don't listen to it on my phone.
Interesting.
It knows that I like that one.
Well, and so it directed me to start deleting screenshots. I had no idea how many times I screen grab things in the moment just to like share them with somebody. I had over 1,000 screen grabs.
Yeah.
But like some of them are okay. How about this? This blast from the past. It is Richard Condon and Gary Chambers.
Oh my God.
I know.
Send that to Rick.
I did. I sent it to him yesterday. He's like, what do I need to pay you to delete that forever? Like, you can't. It's mine. 652. Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Cup of Tech Gumbo rolling right along. All right, I hijacked the first segment. So where do you want to go here?
So there was a dating app that got really creepy. There was a young woman. She was a student at a college in Tennessee. And a friend walked up to her and said, "Hey, is this you?" And she got all freaked out because she had been posting videos to TikTok the way kids do, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody grabbed that videos and made a dating app of her using her image and her voice and geofenced it for the campus and especially for her dorm. And it was wildly suggestive of an ad.
Okay.
Like highly sexual ad. And so she got all freaked out. And there's a, the Take It Down Act, which, she is trying to invoke. She's got an attorney trying to sue this whatever the website is, but the website was based in the Cayman Islands. And, just there's no chance of them ever finding who this is. And it was more than likely some guy creates this site trying to get, somebody to use a credit card for a dating app scam and get the hell out. But this is what AI is doing, that they could take this TikTok app, video of this person and then create a quick little website and then geofence it so close to where it was just inside this girl's dorm.
Right.
I mean, this is not just a random at that point. And I could be wrong, but it was too sophisticated of a system to be just a one time. It's how many times has this been replicated around the country kind of thing?
Mm-hmm.
And really scary that artificial intelligence is allowing somebody to have that level of control over somebody's images.
Now, the dating app is called Meet, MEETE. Is that right?
Something like that. Yes.
And what I find amazing about it is, like, why were they using it so close to home? Like, why would you use that girl's dorm?
That's a great question.
Like, because you're going to come across real life and online life are going to cross the streams very, very quickly if you do that.
Unless you're thinking, hey, if I use it in her dorm, somebody's going to see her and be able to, they'll think they'll use this app. They'll pay me to get to know her or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't, it did not make a lot of sense.
So,
other than that, because it's obviously she's going to go, what the hell is that? Get away from me kind of stuff.
Well, because the other possibility is, and have they found out the individual person yet that did this?
Oh, God, no.
Okay. Because to me, this feels like almost like revenge porn. Because think of it this way. If the only purpose for that ad or the profile, whatever, is to get people to approach her. And if you're doing it in the dorm, you're going to see her in real life.
Right.
So basically, you're painting the picture because of the suggestive nature of her profile. You're painting the picture online that she's a hoe.
Yeah.
I mean, it just like that's
an interesting take. I didn't even think about it in that way.
Yeah,
but that's just as good an explanation.
I would start with probably somebody she's rejected before.
Ooh,
I mean,
yeah. But that's kind of one of the and there was another story we talked about how Taylor Swift is actually trying to
saw this one too.
Trademark her voice and her images, and so basically she's trademarking her name, image, and likeness, her own version of NIL,
right?
So that AI can't use her voice, can't use her images to do different things. So and there's multiple celebrities who are trying to do this as well.
So I want to ask about this because this is a difficult thing. A lot of people have voices that sound similar.
Right.
So how do you un-AI a voice? That's
a great question because Scarlett Johansson, somebody was using a voice very, very similar to hers after they had asked her to be the voiceover and she said no. They used a similar that almost sounded enough like her, and she got into a lawsuit with them, and they found up using something entirely different, but it was the same level approach that you're talking about.
So, and that's exactly where I'm going with this. You and Scarlett Johansson, I was going to ask, like, how many commercials do you see are Morgan Freeman's voice, and how many are a knockoff Morgan Freeman?
Absolutely.
It's because you don't know until you see him. I know there's one prescription drug he is out there hawking, but like, you don't know. It's a Morgan Freeman-esque voice behind that's a VO on an ad. If it's a VO, there's no picture, and if there's no picture, you don't know.
It could be, and so we opened up the segment of the first talking about artificial intelligence, and this is kind of that whole ramification of what AI is doing now.
Right.
Not only is it looking at you and coming up with your image and creating a full wardrobe for you because it knows exactly what size you are and everything. Now they're doing apps, and they're taking Taylor Swift's voice and her images and doing other things with this. And this is why there needs to be some guardrails on artificial intelligence.
So we got 1 minute left, and I don't know if this is enough time to answer this question, but is there any way in this world that the guardrails can be proactive and not retroactive? Because every guardrail we see right now is from a legal perspective, to where this poor girl at this dorm, her reputation is probably shot.
Well, one of the stories we talked about, their OpenAI had to put in a block so that it no longer uses the term goblins, raccoons, and other kind of creatures, because it was just hallucinating and throwing goblins into answers.
Why not?
And so they had to literally go back in and program it.
From a personal protection standpoint, is there a way to jam it on the front end rather than have to take legal action on the back end?
You'd have to list out every celebrity.
I know.
And good luck with that.
I know. So there's your next $1 billion idea, is to buy into a service that builds it for you.
Have AI do it for you.
Well, that would be hyper specific. Get your full serving Tech Gumbo Saturdays and Sundays right here on Talk 107.3 FM, and of course everywhere you get your podcast on demand. He's Haggai Davis. Always appreciate the time.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you. Hour 2's coming up next. It's 7:00. Oh man, good stuff.
Yeah.
So, you should check out this Perfecta thing. With, I don't know that if her website's caught up to where she was from pitch night, but it was she ended up finishing second. She should have won. Problem is, on a pitch night thing, it's number one, your personality, and number two, where do the judges take it? And the judges try to do too many things to change her current product rather than just ask her questions about, could you use this here? Could you do this there? Like, no. This is what we're doing. This is what we're putting it as. And anyway, to go along with that, it's like, no, this should be in stores. Well, maybe, but work with the ideas. So that's why she ended up finishing second, not first. But it was one of those ones where when you're watching it, you're like, this can take over the world. This, like, if I run a small boutique, I would want this in my store. And yeah, come in my store, get your measurements done here. Buy something while you're here, but you're going to take those measurements. You get that whole profile, not just measurements, but like what colors look good with your skin tone. Like
a wedding dress boutique.
Oh, yeah. No, but I mean, I was talking like something like as simple as like tangerine or something. Like, well, that's for whatever. But like an everyday boutique. I don't know. I've seen a bag from there. I don't know what's in there, but
I don't know.
But like, most of the shopping is going to be done online. If you can grab them from time to time to get them in your store, this would be walk in,
Mm-hmm. But then what if you would, with your phone, if you're using the app on yourself, here's your dimensions, send that into the store through their website, and just, I want this dress.
Yeah.
Or I want this suit or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know how accurate it would be with a phone. You stand on a platform and it goes 360 for you, like top to bottom, all the way around. So
do you have to be in shorts?
I don't know.
Do you have to be in your underwear when they're doing this?
I don't know.
Because I would imagine if you're wearing clothes over the top, it's not going to be as accurate.
Probably not, but the technology is there thanks to TSA. The technology is there to know what's clothing, what's hard mass. Your body being the hard mass.
Yeah, how good is the scanners though compared to what TSA uses?
Yeah. So in deleting screen grabs, this was one of the ones that I haven't deleted yet. Someone just sent me that randomly one day. And then when I tried to text back, clearly they blocked my number on the back end.
Nice.
And then it caused me to go off on a rant on what the upside down flag means. It means you're physically under duress at that time.
You're
It means
surrendering.
you need it means you need rescuing.
Oh. Okay. What about you, Breland? What's Mother's Day looking like at y'all's household?
Well, we try to not brave the restaurants because Mother's Day is just crazy.
Oh no.
So we're gonna cook at home.
Yeah.
My husband's gonna cook, and the boys, they have something up their sleeves. They're like, "Mama, you're gonna be around this weekend." I'm like, "Of course." And so they're like, "Well, we're not telling you anything." I'm like, "What y'all got going on?" So I'm curious. My boys have 2 games on Sunday, so our afternoon is shot at Burbank in the field. But other than that, though, I told them, I said, "Let me sleep in."
We like to do virtual dinners because Haggai's in New York.
Oh, so y'all will do. Oh, that's so cool.
So, but we started that in COVID, where because the youngest one was at Tech and the oldest one was in New York
every
City.
Blue moon, or y'all will plan it to where
We would
y'all all
just
have dinner
Do
together.
a team meeting and have dinner over Teams, and
Oh my god!
so we'll do that Sunday evening. And I think I'm making an etouffee.
Ooh, yum! Is that your wife's favorite? One of her favorites?
One of.
Oh, I love it. Well, tell her Happy Mother's
And to
Day.
you, happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
And Christy as well.
I will pass that along.
I hope she enjoys her etouffee. That sounds good. I like it good. I can't eat the shellfish, but I'll do a chicken etouffee. You know. Bye, Haggai.
Later, Haggai. $7:05. Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Hour 2 coming your way right now. Brian here with you. Breland producing, ticking down a few degrees. We're at 62 degrees to start off your 7 o'clock hours. We broadcast live from the 180 Pros studio. Coming up this hour, Jordan from Neurojust is coming by. He's bringing a friend along with him. So we're going to hear another testimonial, maybe talk a little bit about just some of the things that revolve around anxiety and depression, especially this time of year. You look at how often do traumatic experiences affect mood and affect your overall outlook. And, well, if I'm being quite honest, we're at a point right now where our own daughter is about to close one chapter of her life and open up another one. So when you talk about big-time experiences like graduations and whatnot, can they take an emotional toll that might trigger something else from the past? Plus, like I said, we're going to have a great testimonial come along with it. So Jordan's coming up in just a little bit. Also this hour, we have got... Oh, Crimestoppers. I forgot.
Don Coppola's coming.
Today's Thursday. It's Crimestoppers. See if we can't catch some bad guys a little bit later on this hour. Right now, though, we start you off with top stories and trending. Six Louisiana energy startups are sharing nearly $1.2 million in funding through the second round of proof of concept awards from Fuel, Future Use of Energy in Louisiana. The fund helps early stage companies move from development to commercial application by bridging the gap between invention and market entry. This most of the awards are right around $200K. Yes, 1.2 million, 6 of them, that math's out right. They involve not just generating new fuels, but better utilization of what we currently have. This week is Get a Game Plan Week, as the Governor's Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness urges the state to get ready for hurricane season, which starts on June 1st. By the way, we are expecting 11 to 16 storms. 5 to 7 of those are supposed to be serious, meaning a Cat 3 or bigger. 3 to 5 storms to make landfall. Overall, it is a near to below average season that's being projected. Actually, can I go back one more on the hurricane stuff?
I'm curious
They're
now.
changing the cone of uncertainty this year.
Okay.
To where the top of the cone's always been a circle, right?
Yeah.
They're making the top of the cone more elliptical, which is going to give it a wider base. They say they're changing it to be more accurate. And I think that's doo-doo.
Well, if you widen it.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
if you're widening it, yeah, it just won't.
So, like, if I'm playing darts, right?
Yeah.
And I get tired of not hitting the bullseye, I can't just widen the bullseye and say that I'm better at darts.
That's cheating.
I know. So is this.
Meteorologists are cheating
Either
now.
hit the cone or miss the cone. Either way, I don't care. You can't change the size of the strike zone and call yourself Nolan Ryan.
So wait, let me get this straight. If a storm comes into the Gulf, we're going to have our cone from Corpus Christi, Texas,
to Mobile. I know. Yeah.
Okay.
It could hit anywhere, anytime. I don't know. It's dumb to me.
Not fair.
No, I know.
Number 3.
Yeah. The state Senate unanimously voted to pass an amended bill by Alan Seabaugh that would expand the definition of first-degree murder, which would effectively expand the list of those eligible for the death penalty, which the author of the amendment says is in direct response to the fatal mass shooting at the Mall of Louisiana from 2 weeks ago. The Baton Rouge Fire Department says a hazmat unit was called in to work a chemical spill on Scenic Highway. Officials said that as a building was being torn down, Scenic at 70th Street, right around there, a few drums of a caustic substance were spilled. City officials said the company that was at the building previously left chemicals behind. Baton Rouge Fire says there were no impacts to the public. Well, if you're on I-12 right now, I-12 westbound coming in, you do not need to tell me. Oh, sorry, I do not need to tell you how bad it is right now. Our number one story takes us back to the traffic center, where about 5:15 this morning, there was an accident. 12 westbound at Airline Highway. The board says it was between Sherwood and Airline, but it's closer to Airline. An accident 12 westbound at Airline Highway. One person was injured in the crash, but for the bulk of this morning so far, there have been 2 lanes blocked. And as a result of that, delays on I-12 westbound actually start. They start like right as you get on the interstate of Jubin. If you're hopping on a Jubin, it's stop and go from there. So now what we're seeing here as a result of that is 190 is going to be backed up as well. If you're in Denham from Range all the way up to the racetrack on the way in the Baton Rouge, that picks up from there, but you're going to see a lot more congestion on Florida Boulevard coming into town as a result of spillover from this. That being said, Florida's still cleaner than the interstate right now, to be sure. Yeah, absolutely. What you got, Breland?
A suicide note purportedly left behind in his jail cell by the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein before his first attempt to kill himself said, in quote, "It is a treat to be able to choose one's time to say goodbye."
I mean, can you trust anything that comes out this late?
And why are we all of a sudden talking about it?
No, to be fair, it was found a lot closer to it, but they
didn't unseal it.
Right, it was unsealed yesterday. Okay. So
in last hour, I was talking about his suicide watch, so I dug it up. So Jeffrey Epstein was placed on suicide watch after he was found injured in his cell July 23rd, 2019. He had marks on his neck. He was removed from suicide watch around July 29th of that same year. So a few days later. Then he passed away August 10th of that year, 12 days after being taken off suicide watch. Mm-hmm. And now they found this note. Yeah. Okay. It's interesting.
Yeah.
The Strong World Video Game Hall of Fame is scheduled to announce this year's class. I thought it was gamers. You said it's games.
It's games.
That's
cool. You're not talking about the people that play the games and putting them in a Hall of Fame. That would just be moronic.
Right.
Like that's just.
And that's what I thought. I'm like, why do we have this?
Well, because if you have a football Hall of Fame, you don't put a football in the Hall of Fame.
There you go.
Right. So when you have a video game Hall of Fame, it's actually the video games that are making it. Angry Birds, Dragon Quest, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim.
Good game, by the way.
Seriously?
Yes.
No idea what that is. FIFA International Soccer, Frogger,
I love Frogger.
Galaga, League of Legends, Mega Man, Parappa the Rapper.
Parappa the Rapper.
I'm sorry. I worked at Blockbuster Video in the late 90s. We couldn't keep, there was like a 3-week stretch. We couldn't keep Parappa the Rapper on the shelves.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I know. RuneScape, Silent Hill, and Tokimeki Memorial.
Never heard of some of these, but for the most part, I've heard about a bunch of them. Now, Frogger, when I was
How
a
is
kid,
Frogger not already in?
right?
Frogger's like an S tier game. Like
I
Frogger
loved
is
it.
such a classic that unless this is the very first induction into the Video Game Hall of Fame, Frogger feels like it's one of those classics like Pac-Man or Donkey Kong.
Correct. You got to get the frog across the road and not get hit by the semis.
Right.
You got to help our frog cross. I love Frogger, but yes, I'm with you. It's an OG.
Yes.
Okay. On that note, why a snake? Not on the phone.
Well, so apparently, let's see. Apparently, oh wow! All right, I'm looking at this is the AI overview, the World Video Game Hall of Fame, and the Strong National Museum of Play. Iconic titles such as Pong, Super Mario Brothers, Pac-Man's in, Tetris is in, Doom is in, Legend of Zelda's in, World of Warcraft, Minecraft.
Woohoo!
Last year, Defender went in.
Never heard of it.
GoldenEye. I remember GoldenEye was super hot in the late 90s. Quake, Tamagotchi,
Okay.
Asteroids, Myst, Resident Evil, SimCity.
Sim City.
I'm not reading any of these because they're terrible. Oh, Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
Super Mario Kart, Ms. Pac-Man, Last of Us.
Man, you're pulling out some good games.
Space Invaders, Grand Theft Auto 3,
Yes.
Sonic the Hedgehog. And yeah, Donkey Kong's in there.
I love Donkey Kong. Anyways, on that note, pulling out the nostalgia, don't know how we missed it yesterday. The 10K sports drink. It's back.
Let's go.
I saw the logo. I
Yeah.
had to go look it up, and I'm like, I remember this now.
So yes, you remember 10K?
Yes.
I mean, and is it a Louisiana thing? Because it's been re-released with Louisiana, made with Louisiana cane sugar. So it is now
I'm
a local
almost
product.
wondering, was it as popular as, because I know it was popular down here. Shoot, my vending machine had it at my gym because I was a gymnast. I would go all the time. And so was it popular everywhere else? Because I remember it being popular here. Had to be.
I don't.
Had to be.
Growing up on the North Shore, it was everywhere.
Yep.
You walked in Time Saver, it was there. You walked in Piggly Wiggly, it was there. It's just you couldn't not find 10K. So
Right.
I'm here for it. I'm going to get me some today. 7:15 Talk 107.3 FM. We ran a little bit long right there. We will catch back up on schedule in just a quick second. Before we break, though, need to remind you about the folks over at Exxon Mobil. Where'd my sheet go? You know what? When we're talking about Exxon Mobil, we're talking about over a century of being here in Baton Rouge. We're talking about over a century of growing the energy sector the right way, whether you're talking about oil and gas or what's next. And by the way, what's next is going to involve carbon capture in some way, shape, or form. Generations of Louisianans have built careers at Exxon Mobil. The industry-leading commitment to safety and a global reputation for sustainability creates the belief that, if you're going to operate in a place, you do it right. And that's what they do at Exxon Mobil. So as we move into this new world, or newer world, I should say, of carbon capture, you want to learn more about it. What is Exxon Mobil doing to A, stay on the forefront, and B, really stay on the forefront when it comes to safety? You can learn more at aboutlaccs.com. Aboutlaccs.com. Text Bo. Oh, damn it. Good stretch. Come on, guys. Sorry, I'm running late. Let's get y'all in. All right, how are you? Ryan, y'all can be on these two, and I'm going to move over here.
Okay. She's sitting closer too. Okay. You and James closer to you probably, huh? Yeah. Good stuff.
Good morning.
Good morning. So it's Mental Health Awareness Month, right?
Yes.
So we're going to talk about that. One thing I want to hit on, at least at the end, after we kind of get through James' story, is really good time for teachers and school age kids to come in right now because they usually regret coming in later. Because they got the summer to do it and it takes 2 months or so, So we want to kind of hit on that at the end if we can. Otherwise, James can tell a story. I can chime in whenever, kind of talk about stuff. Okay. James has been in radio.
Really?
19 years.
Wow.
Really? Wow.
Mhm.
I was a country DJ at WNOE. And then I moved to Tucson and was a country DJ at Kim FM there. And then
What was your name at NOE?
Jay Ellis. I was more of just a weekend guy, but I was also the production director. So I did all the commercials.
Because I feel like now that you're talking, because I grew up in Homa.
Oh, okay.
And so that's what we listened to was NOE.
Yeah.
That's cool.
92 to 95-ish. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
718 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and with that, we want to bring in our good buddy Jordan from Neurojust. How are you, man?
Great. Good to have you here. I'm really happy.
Glad to have you on with us today. So you brought a friend with you. We got James in today, and James is going to share his story in a little bit. But do we want to set the table for Mental Health Awareness Month now, or do we want to let James go first? Because I kind of feel like every time we have a good story to tell, I don't want to cut it short.
Correct. So, yeah, we can get this. Yeah, kind of hit this up in the front. Mental Health Awareness Month is really important. I love that it's positioned here because, especially for our treatment, it takes about 2 months to get through treatment. There's some front end work to get it approved through insurance and get with a doctor. So especially during the summer, we treat a lot of teachers and a lot of school age kids, whether it's adolescents 15 and over or college age kids. Really good time to get into the clinic right now to get evaluated, get started, because most people regret doing it maybe second half of the summer and running back into school and get time just more difficult to find the time to come in. Mm-hmm. Treatment's only 10 to 20 minutes long, so it's not a hard thing to do. You can always do it right after school, but a lot of those people regret not getting in like now. Yeah. If they get in July, then it takes a few weeks. Then we're starting in August. It's a kind of a frustration for those people.
So to go along with this being Mental Health Awareness Month, and you bring up the school angle of this, but I want to bring up a second angle with the school angle, and that is when you have big calendar events, they can often trigger traumatic episodes from the past, traumatic memories from the past. And graduation is one of those events. I mean, how many times are you going to hear from somebody who's going through graduation saying, I wish your dad were still around to see this, or I wish, so-and-so who had passed or whatever. Yeah. But it's the same as a holiday. If you go through the holiday season missing someone, it could just open up the floodgates of everything else.
Yeah. I know for me, having lost my father in 2019, Father's Day always hits me hard. Yeah. We always do breakfast in bed, birthdays, special holidays, whatever we do it for mom, for Mother's Day. We do it for me, for Father's Day, and surrounded by the kids. They're giving me presents. There's always a moment there where I kind of get a little misty and, thinking about my dad and knowing, I'm missing him. So yeah, all these big events can hit you. So, if that's a reminder of, if you're grieving, there's grief, right? I always say there's a difference between proper grieving and depression. If it's throwing you into depression and you can't let it go, and it's throwing you deeper into that rumination, it's a good time to recognize maybe I need some help.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Father's Day is a big one. It's interesting. So I lost my dad in 2012, and his birthday is in June.
Yeah.
So we'll
Yeah,
go
double
we'll-
whammy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll go down to Metairie Cemetery
Mm-hmm.
on his birthday, and I'll just sit and talk with him for a little while.
Oh yeah.
I know it's time to go when I can hear my dad say, "It's like 1,000 degrees. Why are you here?" All right.
Yep.
So, but enough about me. We got a good story to tell. James, welcome aboard. How are you, man?
I'm good. Thank you.
It's open slate, man. Just start with the beginning. Let's start here. At you somewhere along the way, you recognized you needed Neurojust, and you went in and you crossed that threshold to do
Right.
so. So I don't want to start there. I want to start back when. What problems were you recognizing in your life that made you start to think this is going from subconscious to conscious?
Okay, sure. I come from a long line of anxious people, so I think that that probably had a lot to do with it. And as a young adult, I was probably riddled with anxiety, not so much depression, but more anxiety, and it started manifesting itself in teeth clenching. In fact, I would go to a dentist, and the dentist said, "My goodness, what's going on with your teeth?" I'm like, I don't understand what you mean. Your gums are all bad and everything. I said, well, I do everything I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
Eventually, I found a doctor who said, you are a tooth clencher because I could see facets on your teeth from grinding them at night. So I got a night guard.
Mhm.
Didn't think anything of it, right? I got a night guard. And then all of a sudden, all of that anxiety moved from the bottom of your jaw to your pelvis, your pelvic region. And I started really getting a lot of pelvic floor pain. Then I thought urological, I thought gastroenterological. I'd been to doctors, tests. And finally, everybody's like, you are good. There's nothing wrong with you there. There's nothing wrong. But I knew something was wrong because it was daily pain, daily problems, all kind of stuff. So I began to realize, okay, well, maybe this is in my head. Maybe it's psychosomatic. And my sister is a chiropractor in Atlanta. She says, all of your stress lives on your 3 floors, which is your jaw, your pelvic floor, and your feet. And during COVID, the pelvic floor pain kind of went away, but I could barely walk because my feet hurt so bad. So it was like, it was moving, and you're like, how do you think that anxiety is causing all of these physical problems? So I heard the ad on the radio. And of course, when you hear the ad on the radio, Facebook is listening. So then on Facebook, it's nothing but ads for Neurojust. Right. And I'm like, okay, something is telling me something to do this. So I went there and tried it out. And before I get into that, just to say that, the pelvic floor pain had been going on for about 8 years, right? And before that, probably another 8 years before. So this has been 20 years of managing my anxiety in my own head without really. I'd been to therapists and I'd been on, antidepressants and all of that. So all of that was all kind of working through me, but nothing was really working.
Right.
So coming there, and I spoke with Carter, the clinician, and the very first thing out of his mouth to me made sense, in the sense that you've got a fight or flight system, which is a primitive system in your brain. It's, you're running from the elephant or whatever that's chasing you as a caveman, right? And you're trying to fight it or whatever. So I had been spending 30 plus years of my life running, flight, and probably all the time, 24/7. You're always in that anxiety, not able to compartmentalize anything, not able to organize any of your thoughts. And when he said, we've got to get the control over that, which is what the Neurojust, the TMS process does. And that was instantly made sense to me. I'm like, oh yeah, this is it's all, it literally is in my head, literally.
Right.
So that's what we went through. I went through the 36 treatments of TMS, and it, just like they say, it's non-invasive, and it was, easy to work with, and the folks there are terrific to work with. And since I was, in radio myself, and I know how to talk, I talk a lot. So I actually have really good conversations, and every visit was positive. And a month, 6 weeks now since, I'm probably I'd say about 50% better than what I was.
Okay.
And will I completely be done? Will I be cured of it? No, I have no idea. I don't know. But now it's at least tolerable, where a year ago, 2 years ago, I'm like, I can't go on with this. I'm not going to live like this. I can't do it anymore. I've been to every doctor possible. So now I'm at least able to say, no, you know what? Let's see how tomorrow is. Let's see how tomorrow is. Let's see if I can get through another day without a problem. Or if I have a problem, it's a small one. I could deal with the small ones. It's just the big problems are the ones that I can't take.
So have you done all 36?
I did.
Okay. So walk me through, within those 36 sessions, of that kind of mental recognition that it's oh my goodness, this is happening.
Yeah. The one of the things that they tell you when you're doing this is that you're starting to make a change to your brain, right? And I tell people all the time that the brain is an electrical organ, and electricity always takes the path of least resistance. So when you've been doing something the same way, that short little road is all your brain's going to do. And when you start changing it, the brain goes, hold on, this is not working. We're not doing the right thing. So they talk about what's called the dip, which is after the first couple of weeks, you're going to experience, a return back to some of those feelings. Well, for me, it was like 3 days, like third or fourth day.
Okay.
Like we started on a Monday, and by Friday, I mean, I felt better Tuesday. I felt better Wednesday. By Friday, I had a bad episode, and it just knocked me out the whole weekend.
Wow.
And I walked in there and I said that, and they're like, wow, that was quick. I said, yeah, I know, because my brain's been so used to doing this for so long that it just hit it and went, no, I'm not doing that. Well, then you're not really starting over. You're just saying, okay, well, here's where you are. I'm going to plateau from there. The treatments were, 20 minutes a piece with the electromagnet on the left side of the front of your head. And they found my level, which we can talk about that, but they found where my level was, and it was pretty high already. So we got into that. And as those treatments came along, I could feel that dip end and little steps of improvement every day, And then it would plateau a little bit for maybe a weekend. And then you start to little steps forward. And then once you're done with the whole treatment, you're like, okay, I'm not really feeling like I should, but at least I kind of have something growing. You've planted the seeds. You can start to see the sprouting.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, now I just need to water it and give it sun and then see where it goes from there.
All right. We're going to run long. Don't worry about the clock. Jordan, want to go back to you real quick. When you see a case, when you see results like James, where he's at about 50% through, obviously it's registered, obviously it's taking.
Yeah.
What do we do there to get him from 50 to 100?
Yeah. So first and foremost, you said the pain is 50% less in the pelvic floor too, right? So you're seeing that's reduced, which I often see a multitude of physical issues that are concomitant with depression, anxiety, migraines. A lot of patients have migraines.
Yeah.
I see those reduced by about 80%.
Well, and fatigue can create so many other things and
so many triggers, tinnitus, different types of pain. And I see a lot of patients tell me about 50%
well, you do
reduction
dumb
in pain.
stuff when you're tired too. So
you focus on the pain,
right?
When you're ruminating on the pain, then it's worse, right? Kid stubs a toe and you pinch his arm. And it's like, does your toe hurt anymore? It's like, well, no, I'm distracted from it, right? I gotta talk about that. Well, if you're not ruminating on it, you're not getting it. So I always kind of say, like, there's different patients react differently, right? Some patients get, full remission. About 64% of our patients get full remission, no depression, no anxiety when they're done. 86% of patients get at least a 50% improvement. What I do see from some patients is some things can be accelerated, whether you get the dip early or whatever. I feel like that's more just like, okay, I'm having to let go of all this baggage that I've been holding on to for a long time. That's kind of the dip. It's just like, I'm just releasing all this stuff that I've been holding on to for a long time. And that presents itself in a multitude of ways.
Was that more of a fear of letting go? Like
I think you've just been holding on to.
There's a comfort level of knowing where you are.
Yeah. And it's a big change. And I'm like, I'm processing this differently. I'm working through these things. And it's like, I feel overwhelmed possibly by all the things I'm having to let go of that I've been holding on to for so long. That's kind of what the dip typically is. And that can be, I'm more irritable for 2 or 3 days. I feel really low for 2 or 3 days, whatever it might be. Oftentimes what I tell patients, if you get a really good response, but it's not quite remission, go see a therapist, start working on yourself, start exercising, start doing some things. That's why we have Biojust with it. We do a lot of stuff with like hormones, wellness, nutrition. Now that I'm in a better place, I can work towards a better physical side. So gut plays a big role with this. And then oftentimes insurance will cover this again in 3 to 6 months, depending on the insurance. A second round always works even better.
Mhm.
So we could always do something like that as we get further along, and usually we get much better responses in the second time. So
we got less than 2 minutes to go
Mhm.
here. Want to pivot back to James real quick. And first of all, thank you for sharing your story. It's awesome.
Sure, absolutely.
As you've gone through this and you talk about, 50% there when it comes to physical pain or whatever, how is it different to be able to consciously grasp what was previously subconscious? Like, how is it different to be able to see it coming when it's coming?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't just creep up on you, or, you're driving to New Orleans for something, and, you used to know every single bathroom stop, between here and New
Yeah.
Orleans, right? And now you can go, well, you know what? I'm about to take that 20 miles between, Donaldsonville and
From
LaPlace,
Lutcher to LaPlace. Yeah.
Lutcher to LaPlace, and you're like, I'm good, I'm good. And you get to LaPlace, and you're like, I'm going to go over the bridge, I'm going to go over the spillway and not worry about it. I'm good, So and before, you're like, you're not sure, anything could happen in the next 30 seconds,
Right.
a minute, So, but I feel much more confident, and confidence is a big thing.
Unbelievable stuff. Always great. Neurojust.com is the website. Neurojust.com. James, Jordan, thank y'all so much.
thanks for having us.
Read a little bit long on ABC News. Let's catch you up with local news, traffic, and weather. We got Crimestoppers next.
Thank you for a little extra time there too.
No,
Great.
of course. That's I actually, we ran long in the first segment, so I wanted to make sure it was
Okay.
because no matter what, every time y'all are in here, it's gonna, because it's every story is unique,
Mhm.
and every story is fascinating, and every story is wonderful.
Yeah.
And it just, there's so much to unpack from them.
Yeah.
So just
Right.
good
Yeah,
stuff.
I felt good with him because we've focused so much on depression for a lot of these patients. He was more anxiety.
Well,
and that anxiety.
Carter brought somebody who had driving anxiety.
Yeah.
Which, was a whole other fascinating thing.
I
But
see
yeah,
that a lot.
but
Mhm.
it's when the anxiety like completely overloads you.
Then you get
That's where
depressed.
the depression. That's where the shutdown and depression comes in.
Yeah.
So
I rarely see severe depression without severe anxiety or vice
Yeah.
versa. I mean, it's rare
Yeah.
to have not have both,
Right. Especially when it manifests itself physically,
Yes.
because then you've got it coming both sides, your mental and your physical, and that just throws you right down the funnel.
And that was the other one I was going to ask. And since we're still on Facebook, I'll go ahead and ask it
Sure.
now. Is how can you tell the difference between? He talked about the pain might be psychosomatic.
Mhm.
How can you tell the difference between a psychosomatic pain and a manifestation of anxiety? Moving itself to another part of the body.
Yeah. I mean, it either way, I always say, look, everything physical starts with the mental, right? Like, it doesn't really matter whether it be, I can't get in shape, right? I can't lose weight. Well, is it a mental coping mechanism to eat for pleasure, right? Or a lack of, like mental control? Is it, or like, I can't stick with something for a long period of time because at some point I get so overwhelmed with my stress that I just let go, right? So almost everything starts in the brain. I mean, even if it's like a chronic lower back injury, I still get about a 50% reduction in pain. And it's not because it's not something that starts in the brain. But the pain is so much worse when you focus on it, period. End of story. Like, it's only beneficial for patients and there's no risk to it. So it's like, why not fix it? Why not fix this part? I know I'm constantly living with this, even if it doesn't touch the pain, but migraines are almost always triggered by anxiety. There's other, physical reasons you have migraines, but the trigger is always there. I always say, like, genetics point the gun, but inflammation pulls the trigger, right? So like, if it starts in your brain, you're constantly on fight or flight. You got cortisol, you got adrenaline constantly pumping. You're in cortisol fatigue. It's like, well, that now that exacerbates all your physical issues, So, I see drastic changes in people. It could be psychosomatic. It could be the cause,
Yeah.
We don't know if it's the cause, but we know it's going to at least exacerbate it.
Right.
If it is the cause, then it might go away completely.
I knew mine was the cause because I had been to just about every urologist and gastroenterologist and had just about every test run. And they're all like, everything looks normal. We can't see anything wrong.
Can't see the physical. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which has got to be frustrating.
Right.
So.
Yep.
Give your seat back,
Oh,
sir.
yeah.
Always appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thanks again. Sure.
Always a pleasure.
Likewise.
Good seeing you, Brian.
Let me know.
All right.
Let me know if y'all ever need a voice around here too.
We'll do.
I know, right? Have a good week.
All right.
Bye, y'all.
See y'all.
Hey, Don. Good morning.
Where's he at?
He got a haircut. Look at him. Your hair's been like that, huh?
It's been long, I'm short.
Yeah.
Been like this?
I'm used to seeing you with a mullet, Don.
It's good like this?
Yeah. I'm joking. Don ain't got no mullet.
Good morning.
Morning.
How's your son doing, Don?
Oh, he's this is chemo week, so it's a bad week. But thank you for asking. You good? All
I'm
right.
good. I'm good. The babies are good. They're
Good.
getting ready for. They got something up their sleeve. They won't tell me. They're like, "You coming home this week?" I'm like, "I'm always home." I'm like, "Why are y'all asking me that?" So
Well, that's good there.
I know they at school this week they made like homemade cards and all that.
Oh,
So,
nice. I miss those days.
It can be a lot because my oldest boy, he's gonna be 9 in July, and the twins are 7. They fight a lot, but they love a lot.
Oh,
But
yeah.
once they get going, no, I choose. I'm like, stop. Why are y'all fighting?
738 Talk 1073 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Give me one quick second to remind you about the Baton Rouge Metro Airport. FlyBTR.com is the website, FlyBTR.com. Mapping out your summer travel with the family. FlyBTR.com. The Baton Rouge Metro Airport is not just here for the business traveler, although they are certainly here for the business traveler, especially if you're going to Washington, D.C., take care of business in our nation's capital, same day turnaround, right? But if you're flying with the fam over the summer, give them a look. Take into account all the other things that you have to do if you're going down to New Orleans to fly out down there. Take into account, like, leaving your car in an exorbitantly priced parking lot for a week. Take into account the TSA experience. All of it. FlyBTR.com if you want to give them a look. And don't forget, it's not too soon to start booking out your plans for LSU football season. Delta specifically has added a handful of direct flights. We'll tell you about those another time. Right now, I'm just going to send you to flybtr.com. Time for Crime Stoppers. Welcoming back to the studio, one Lieutenant Don Coppola. How are you, sir?
I'm good, Brian. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing very well as well. We've got you got a stack of papers right
Got
there.
a stack of papers.
Absolutely.
and-
But before we get into anything, though, can I derail things as I always do? We're coming up on the end of the school year.
yes.
From a Crime Stoppers perspective, that often means chasing different trends, seeing different patterns.
And when does it end? And like you said, and this could be a time to bring up Beyond Bars. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And we had the pleasure this week of going speak to Louisiana Youth Challenge Program, and what a great experience that was, and just the interaction, with the kids there, the cadets, whatever they're called. It was great, and they are like, "Hey, we want you back tomorrow."
Mhm.
And so, as you mentioned, school ending, this is a big deal for especially the seniors, taking that next step. But just be mindful of whatever pranks may be going out, or whatever it is you do, that those can have a long-lasting impact if things go south.
Yeah.
And it could really be life-changing.
When it escalates.
Yes.
It's not what you think it is on the front end. The consequences could be much greater on the back end. So I just did an important reminder. School's about to wind down here.
School's
it's
about
not-
to wind down. Just be mindful of
What's the old phrase? Idle hands are the devil's workshop.
Yes.
Is that the old?
That's it.
Yep.
That's an old phrase.
It was very old phrase.
Very old.
So, what do we got going on today?
So we're going to start off with our Crimestoppers Facebook page, Capital Region Crimestoppers.
Yeah.
East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office needs some assistance from the public regarding a fatal hit and run crash that occurred February of this year, the intersection of Jefferson Highway near Willow Trail Drive. They believe around 5:45 in the morning, there was a cyclist out, Herschel Brown, 63, who was struck, I believe, by a vehicle, transported to a local hospital, critical condition, and later succumbed to his injuries.
Oof, that's way down Jefferson Highway.
Yeah.
All right, you're talking like Hoosha 2 area.
So this is something that if you have information or if you may be the one responsible, do the right thing, pick up the phone and make that call to either Crimestoppers or investigators and let them know either, hey, it may have been me or it was me, or I have information. There's no doubt, when you hit something,
right?
There's no mistaking whether it be whether it be an animal crossing the road, much less a human being
on a bicycle.
On a bicycle,
right?
That's,
this wasn't a squirrel.
Wasn't a squirrel. Wasn't a possum. If for some reason you don't know, we don't know how you couldn't know, but you're more likely to have damage on your vehicle from this incident.
So that brings us around to if you didn't know, odds are there, and I don't want to walk down too much speculation, but how could it be a scenario where you didn't know? That would probably be an impaired driver. Remarkably impaired driver.
And Brian, I don't know. I'm not getting into
no.
But the weather conditions. I'm not getting into the attire the cyclist had, any lighting system. But
forget what you saw. You're gonna feel.
You're gonna feel this.
No, yeah, completely.
You're gonna feel.
But where
this.
I'm going with this is
damage.
like, that's where I'm going with this. Is you're gonna see damage.
You're gonna see damage.
So here's where we're at then. If your regular commute is Jefferson Highway out by Hoosha 2, Jefferson Highway out by Willow Trail Drive, if your regular commute is out there, you've probably seen a car with said damage at some point along the way.
Yes.
So jogging your memory, you didn't have to be on the scene that night or that morning. You didn't have to be on the scene before dawn that day, but you would have seen a vehicle that, man, what'd that guy hit?
Exactly.
Well, now we know. Not just would that guy hit, but who did he kill?
And
or she.
Here is a life lost, a family grieving, looking for answers, and we believe someone out there has those answers. And it's one simple phone call: 344-STOP, 344-7867. Go to the P3 Tips app. You will remain anonymous, and investigators are just looking for that information to help a family have closure in this, find out what happened early that morning. So they can have answers.
We've got Don Coppola in with us for Crimestoppers this morning, talking about a few outstanding cases that are out there. What else are we looking at?
So while we're still on the Facebook page, Baton Rouge police are looking for some theft suspects. 3 individuals believed to have gone into a local clothing store in the 9600 block of Airline Highway. Brought some items to the counter, making as if they were going to pay for the items. The cashier became distracted, so they picked up the items off the counter, hit the door, jumped into what's believed to be a black SUV and fled.
Oh, fun.
From that area.
This wait, which one is this?
This is this is the first one, right above the Mr. Herschel Brown's post.
Oh, those guys. And was that one gal?
Or possibly 2 gals, 1 guy.
Okay, yeah.
No. You never know these days, but
no.
The picture appears to be picture appears to be that.
appears to be.
Um,
So as far as the dude's concerned, as far as the one we know as a guy is concerned, you're gonna get your friends busted because that's a clear picture of you, buddy.
that's a clear.
So
pic.
as clear as day. So get yourself turned in.
2 of the 3 are really clear. You can still make out the individual.
And the girl in the black
red.
shirt with the hair. Yeah.
We're gonna yeah.
Yeah. And that's not the only theft that we're looking at here, because there was one out in Livingston Parish too that I remember scrolling past.
There was a theft of a tricycle out in Livingston.
Oh no, I wouldn't talk about that one because that one's been solved.
That one's been solved. Not only has it been solved, we Crimestoppers received a call yesterday regarding individuals or a business or whoever it may be wanting to help purchase another tricycle.
And this isn't like a little kid's tricycle. This is a grown-up tricycle.
This is a grown-up tricycle. Yeah, so it's a great job by those investigators, the public, and this is one that has a happy ending to it.
Yeah, absolutely. We got about 2.5 minutes left with Don Coppola. We do Crimestoppers about this time every week. You want to pivot over away from the
let's jump over. Ascension Parish deputies are searching for Brandon Vasquez. Brandon Vasquez, 27 years old, on charges of domestic abuse, battery, strangulation, domestic abuse, battery, child endangerment, and domestic abuse, battery, serious bodily injury. Believe that Vasquez put his hands on a female acquaintance, began to strangle her. She had a 3-year-old child in her arms as he began to punch her in the face.
Oh, goodness gracious.
And it was described by the victim that he had such a hold around her neck where it was almost like she felt like her neck was breaking. So again, anyone with information on the whereabouts of Brandon Vasquez, Ascension Parish Sheriff's Office, or is looking for him, give Crimestoppers a call. At
344-STOP, of course, is the phone number. I always tell you about the P3 Tips app. Better to have it, not need it, than need it and not have it. Is a great, potentially a great source for helping out and solving a crime. In the meanwhile, that's going to do it for us today. Don, always appreciate the time, man.
Thank you, and have a great day.
You do the same. Coming up on Your Money Now at Talk 107.3 FM. After Your Money Now, we will check traffic. After traffic, we're digging back into congressional maps and what that might look like. It's coming up next. Oh, man. Yeah,
buddy, I really it's always going to be in studio, but the on site last time
wasn't that great?
Buddy, that was really good. That was really good.
And so the thing is, normally when I'm on site, I have to hand over content. Normally when I'm on site, like I'll be on site at the Teacher Leader Summit later this week. That's It's a Tuesday and Wednesday. It's not gonna be a Thursday. But Department of Education handles all my guests. So we take a deep dive into education, which is awesome. Coming up in September, and I don't know if this is a Thursday either, I'm gonna be at the Workers' Comp annual conference for Lobby. They handle all the content, so all my interviews are taken care of. So normally when I'm on site,
buddy,
I'm canceling.
It was really nice, man. I enjoyed it.
Well, and I'd like to do more of that if I can.
Look at this fantastic picture. Like we just closed a deal. Isn't that awesome? Look how awesome that is.
Oh my God, look at that.
I mean, that could be like on Talk 107 Facebook page.
Yeah.
Look, I really did. I really do. I think I may.
Forward that to me.
That'll be like for your birthday. We'll get that on the cake.
Yeah, let's do that. Put that on a cake. I think it's funny that you think my birthday gets acknowledged.
I mean, why wouldn't it?
What?
Why wouldn't it?
Yeah, because we can do.
Oh, well, thank y'all. Off to Livonia.
Did I see on the Facebook page a counterfeit $100 bill, or was that?
Yeah, that was Livingston.
It's the same people, right? They keep going to all these stores.
I believe so. Yeah.
So, Mercy Fair weekend before last, somebody passed off a fake 10
Hmm.
at the Mercy Fair. And of course, you got volunteers manning booths, and they're moving fast, and it's easy to lose a $10 bill in there. But it said clearly on the bill, this is movie money, or this money is for use in movies only, or something like that.
And somebody took it.
So it came from like a movie being filmed in Baton Rouge.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I want it. I'll give you $10. I'll pay the $10 for it if I can have it. And they're like, we have to destroy it. I'm like, no.
You don't have to.
you wanted that. You wanted that.
I wanted the fake 10. I wanted the movie money. So.
But I mean,
But it was only one the whole weekend.
right, and they could have gave it to you.
I think so.
All right, man. Have a good one.
You too. Might want to watch 60 Minutes on Sunday night.
Okay.
Wait.
Jesus. Oh, I hate not being able to talk about it. Oh, 7:55 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. We're gonna have a big announcement coming your way tomorrow, y'all. It's not a big announcement, but we'll have an announcement.
Maybe
coming your
this
way tomorrow.
afternoon, huh?
Well, on the
promo-
air, we're not on the air.
Okay.
This afternoon, we'll have the announcement tomorrow. I'm hoping.
But stay tuned to the Facebook.
Yeah,
Because I'll share it.
Yeah. Well, no, not. Well, yeah, we'll post up on Facebook soon, but we'll have something coming your way. It's a big deal for us. It might not be a big deal for everybody, but we'll hopefully within the tomorrow morning show. Be around for tomorrow morning show. We'll be making an announcement, not about programming overall, just a news item, as it were. All right, it's 7:56 at Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Coming up tomorrow is Senate Governmental Affairs Committee, and I believe House and Governmental Affairs Committee as well. We're going to start looking at maps, congressional maps, that is. The Senate Governmental Affairs Committee will start the public hearings for the new legislative map, which the Supreme Court declared the current map unconstitutional. So where do we go from there? ULM political science professor Pearson Cross talked with our news partners over at Louisiana Radio Network, says when all is said and done, Louisiana will likely send an additional Republican back to Washington next year. Cut 7, please.
I'd say the most probable outcome is a 5-1 map. So that'd be 5 safe Republican districts and then 1 pretty safe Democratic district.
Cross says the most likely outcome is a map that yields 5 Republicans. Let me say this again. Cross says the most likely outcome is that 5-1, but to go along with that, cut 8.
I think there are lesser possibilities for a 6-0 map, all Republican, all white majority, and also for a 4-2 map, which has already been thrown out by the Supreme Court.
So once you get to a 5-1 map, you have to start asking yourself questions. If it's going to be 5 Republicans and 1 Democrat, which Democrat's going home? Is it Congressman Troy Carter? Are they going to map him out in New Orleans? Or is it Cleo Fields, who lost his seat the last time he was put into an unconstitutional seat? That's been the topic of discussion thus far. In fact, so much so that John Fleming was talking about it in that Senate debate with Moon the other day. Fleming was saying it's a done deal. It's already over with. It's going to be Cleo sticking around. I honestly, though, I don't know how you make New Orleans not a Democratic district. It's New Orleans, for crying out loud. It always has been and always will be. And you want to see the fight of a lifetime? I just got to say the word. Try deballing New Orleans as congressional power. Try that out. See what kind of fight you get. So if you are a Democrat, you're probably pushing for a map that's going to give you the same makeup as the current one, a 4-2 map. We've been round and round with this, y'all. I don't know how you make up a 4-2 map that meets all the other requirements of a congressional district. Here's what Pearson Cross has to say about the near impossibility of drawing that up.
When they drew that 6th district into that shape, they were basically putting together a district based on race, that it was really not done with any other thing in mind.
No, because that's the only thing you can base it on at that point. June 1st is sine die. June 1st is when they'll be out of the legislative session, which I guess inevitably means June 1st is when they're going to have an answer on this map as well. Now, where does it go from there? Is there even a possibility of running a closed primary on the congressional races? You know how we passed those closed primaries last time around in the last legislative session? If you pass a map on June 1st and start qualifying almost immediately, can we still have on the timeline the plan of the closed primary, or is it going to be jungle one more time? All right, hour 3 is next. Oh, shit on me. If we were to post full hours to a podcast, Top Stories and Trending would be useless today because the number one story is traffic. And as a show host, I can't not do traffic as a story right there. It's beyond the scope of just a traffic report.
I know what they want.
Oh, no, I know exactly what they want because we've done it before and drew 1 to 2 listeners a day. That was it.
So that's extra work for no.
It jams you up, and you can't do it out of Adobe because you got to work out of Adobe anyway. You got to go pull it off of Sterlitz,
And then,
segment by segment, build it back up, and then upload it.
That's an hour's worth of work.
It is. Well,
Probably 30 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe.
20 to 30. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're not posting up any kind of summary. You're just saying, here's hour one, here's the guest, whatever.
Which
But
we have so much traffic on our interviews, posting it like that,
Yeah.
like how I've been doing it.
right. And that's the things that are used by like Medical Monday, Our Lady of the Lake repurposes Medical Monday all the time. Like every single week they repurpose, every single week that's new, they repurpose Medical Monday. Tim Temple gets all kinds of mileage.
Now
out
I
of it.
could probably start doing our More Than Living Mondays. I haven't been doing that. But like, not this day in history, More Dilemma Monday.
My idea is get you on your way. So as I understand it, this all started with Moscona saying Kate was bringing him to speed.
In the producer meeting yesterday.
Right,
And
so-
that was news to me about the monetization because he's like, do you know? I'm like, never, I don't know. And then so Taylor got with me.
A news-based show, especially a news cycle-based show, is not going to have the shelf life of AFR or any sports show.
Right.
Every sports show out there is going to have your podcast shelf life is going to be days, not minutes, right? So it's a different beast. It's a different animal. But Matt's not wrong in that
He's not
we need to
wrong.
find other ways to get monetized. It's not an apples to apples. Posting my show versus posting his show is not an apples to apples comparison. They're two different beasts, so they can't be treated the same. He wants to treat them the same, and I get where he's coming from. But what I would rather do is post one podcast specific, not radio to podcast. Just this would be creative for the podcast where I'm teeing up an interview and then I'm giving a take, and I'm teeing up an interview and I'm giving a take, and after every take before the next interview. And we'll only do like 3 interviews per day, keep the podcast under an hour, but there'd be at least 2 opportunities for a break within there to where you go interview, my recap, commercials. Interview, my recap, commercials.
I like that.
Moral Dilemma Monday could fit in there. Everything that you and I do, like when there's some good back and forth, could fit in there as well. So.
And that's why, like, Brittany Rose, she started putting her second date updates on there.
Yeah.
Because that's her segment. My Real
But-
Talk, which is pop culture in the evening.
Yeah.
I would put, so I get it.
Yeah. But it's number one, it needs to be built for podcasts, not just
Randomly putting a whole hour
Right.
up there with nothing that sits on the wall.
right. So yeah, we're too much of a news wheel for that to make sense.
But she was like, I'm not going to micromanage. Y'all figure out something that works.
Well, neither one of them understand that I've been down this road before. And also, you know, and this is not a knock at you, but you've got your own job to get to as well. Matt Musso is AFR's producer. So whatever Matt Moscona needs, Matt Musso can do.
spends all day doing it.
Correct.
That is his job.
Correct. I do not have a full-time producer. And that's
I'll try to move off of your stuff by 10. If I'm still working on it
No,
at 10 in the morning.
yeah, but that's my point. Is you have other responsibilities in this building other than my show. You have your own daily show. So
I know, and that sucks because there's so much I want to do with your show.
I know. But like I understand where we're at right now personnel wise. And oh, by the way, even when I had a producer whose only job it was to be my producer, time, which means there's a constant when are you clocking out? When are you clocking out? Why weren't you clocked out by 9:30? And it's like, well, we want him to do this, this, and this. Okay, well, he can roll till 10. And then about 2 months later, it was like, man, he's really going long on his hours per week. If we could shave off half an hour a day, it'd be great. And it's like, okay, he's right back to 9:30. So what the fuck are we doing? So what's JP supposed to do other than start trimming down responsibility? So
He's pigeonholed like me. Not that he's doing minimal. Yeah, but
pigeonholed by time, by your job description brings you elsewhere. His need to get off the clock brought him elsewhere. So and oh, by the way, my idea is something that Gordy pushed for from the start. So we just, I have to be subject to too many masters as well, to where I need to be out of the building. I need to be at a press conference. I need to be here. I need to be there. Like, so, but it's, when I spell out the whole way it's going to look, you'll see it's going to be a good product.
okay.
That's what I want first, is a good product. I need a little Mary J today. Got to dance for me, don't need no hater in this dancery. 807 Talk 107.3 FM. Oh, I know. It's been that kind of. What was it saying on Monday? It was this week's been a month, y'all. Oh my goodness gracious. And it's back to back to back. 807 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, Hour 3 mornings with Brian Haldane coming your way right now. Dipping down to 61. When do we start the show off? At 67?
Yeah.
Have we dipped 6 degrees in 2 hours?
That's that real slow cool front that WBRZ is saying we're going to be getting.
I mean, I'll take it. We don't have any more rain for today. Tomorrow looks like dookie.
I think it will rain at some point today, but nothing like tomorrow.
Well, I mean,
right? Or did they change
no,
it?
this is showing no more rain today.
Okay.
17% chance.
Well, yeah.
Now, tomorrow's an
nothing.
80% chance of rain, according to my handy dandy app, with a high of 71. We're not going to hit 80 today. Give me that. I'll take it.
I will take it.
Yeah, absolutely. Brian here with you, Breedland Producing, broadcasting live from the 180 Pros studio. Is it time for your IT to do a 180? Visit 180pros.com. I'm going to get you to this day in history in a quick second, but I got to remind you about Guarantee Health Solutions. GuaranteeHealth.com is the website. Guarantee Health Solutions, their tagline. I love the tagline. We're bridging the gap between healthcare and hospitality. And stop and think about that for a moment. If you work in the healthcare field in some form or fashion, urgent care, just a regular primary care doctor's office, a specialty care office, wherever you're at in the hospitality, I did it again. I said hospitality again. Wherever you're at in the healthcare field, how much is hospitality playing a role in how you build your relationships with your patients? Guarantee Health Solutions was born from the want for a better hospitality aspect of things. It was born from a loved one of the founder of Guarantee Health going through a medical crisis, and it was just so transactional. You could change the game, you could change your patients' lives, and you could change your own business along the way with Guarantee Health. Just visit guaranteehealth.com, learn more about it there. All right, right now, this day in history.
All right, on this day in history, Brian, big old day for New Orleans. In 1718, New Orleans was founded by Jean-Baptiste de Bienville. Big old day for New Orleans.
Bienville got the credit for that?
That's what it's saying, Jean-Baptiste de Bienville. The middle, okay, correct me if I'm saying this right. Jean-Baptiste Le Moyne de Bienville.
All
okay,
right.
Yep, that's what it says. In 1824, Beethoven premiered his legendary Ninth Symphony in Vienna while almost completely deaf at that time. And forever will go down as a notable this day in history.
Yeah.
Skipping ahead to 1977, Hotel California by the Eagles hit #1 in the U.S. And forever, still to this day, people are figuring out the conspiracies about that. Like, what does this so mean? What is it about? Et cetera, et cetera. What do you think it's about, Brian?
Wait, what do I think what's about?
Hotel California.
I think it's about killing 5 minutes of my time.
See, I thought it was drugs.
Yes, it's about drugs.
Yeah, we'll go with that. 1983, Beat It by Michael Jackson reached #1. The Eddie Van Halen guitar solo helped massively bridge rock and pop audiences. I did not know until today that the Eddie Van Halen had a guitar solo in that song.
Really?
No clue. And I love Michael. Yeah, I'm learning as I go. In the year 2000, Metallica sued Napster over music sharing, becoming one of the biggest moments in digital music history.
Yeah.
In 2013, I don't know if I ever realized that Google Maps just changed. They just did it. Introducing a redesigned Google Maps preview and totally redesigned the whole thing top to bottom. in 2013 for
Tw-
Google Maps.
That was 13 years ago.
Right.
No, you're not going to remember that.
No, don't
No
remember.
one's going to remember that.
Yeah.
13 years ago.
2024, Stormy Daniels testifies in court to a 2006 sexual encounter with Donald Trump as part of a hush money trial against Donald Trump.
Yeah, Baton Rouge's own Stormy Daniels.
Yep. Who else she got?
Did we ever figure out what high school she went to? Because I know
Baker High School.
I think it was Scotlandville.
Scotlandville.
Yeah.
I swore it was
originally,
McKinley.
Originally, I was told it was Broadmoor, and then all the Broadmoor people exploded and said, "No, it wasn't Broadmoor.
She didn't come to our school.
It was what's the one on the other? Bel Air. It wasn't Broadmoor. It was Bel Air, and then all the Bel Air people exploded. So what? Bel Air was Scotlandville.
It's like everybody's getting
So
mad.
until Scotlandville steps up and says Stormy Daniels didn't go to Scotlandville, that's what we're gonna stick for right now.
Right. All right. What does she got?
I don't want like the Broadmoor people were mad. They
I
were
know
mad.
people get offended when you're like,
Well,
Stormy
wait.
Daniels went there. She did not. Nobody wants to claim her.
No, I know.
All right. Are we moving on to birthdays?
Hang on. Yeah, we should. Although I
feel like I'm missing a lot.
the Lusitania. The British ship, the Lusitania, sunk today.
Yes.
That was the
I
only
knew I
other
was
one.
missing something.
Yeah.
All right. 2 birthdays that I have. Enrique Iglesias, 1975. David Attenborough. You know him on
Wait,
all.
Enrique Iglesias is older than me?
Yeah. Ain't that crazy?
What the heck?
I thought he was young. Like real young.
I know.
In his 30s, but maybe that was 20 years
What was
ago.
that song he did with Pitbull? That was a banger, like back in 07.
I Know You Want Me?
No.
That
Baby,
was
I Like It.
Yes.
Ugh.
David Attenborough, known for his voice in all the documentaries and especially nature documentaries.
Yeah.
Who else you got?
Nah, that's it. I got 2 former LSU Tigers who have birthdays today.
I saw that from our.
Yes. Yep. So Terrence Tolliver and Craig Stelz both have birthdays today. Also, Gary Cooper. What happened to Gary Cooper? He died. Gary Cooper was born on this day in 1901. Sorry, there's a little quick Sopranos.
I never
right
catch those,
No,
but
you're
I'll
not- you're
learn.
not going
I'll
to.
learn.
Also, it's Tchaikovsky's birthday.
Okay, let's see. Notable deaths on this day, and then we have to wrap. Eddie Rabbitt from country music. He sings I Love a Rainy Night, Driving My Life Away. He passed away in 1998.
Okay.
Let's see. National Day today.
Oh, wait, hang on. I had one more birthday. I can't believe I missed this one. Tim Russert.
Who's that?
From Meet the Press, Tim Russert.
Oh, okay. National Day of Prayer today. National Tourism Day.
Yes.
It's today.
Which is why we'll be talking with Jill Kidder later on this hour
So
from
exciting.
Visit Baton Rouge. It's also, I forgot 80 Bryant's birthday is in there as well. Same with Breckenmeyer. 80 Bryant from Saturday Night Live.
Yep.
And Breckenmeyer. So, all right. We're running long, as has been the case all morning long. Give me one quick second to tell you about 180 Pros. 180pros.com is the website. All right. Small business owners specifically, take a look at your tech. Take a look at your network. Are you happy with it? Are you happy with the relationship you have with your IT provider? Would you rather an IT partner? All of the latest in tech, all the latest in cybersecurity, but a partnership that means when you call, they answer. 225-330-2200. When you call, it's local. Right there in Sherwood. They will answer, and they'll get to you immediately. Same-day response time guaranteed. Simplified billing, a one-page invoice from your tech guy. Can you believe it? Learn more at 180pros.com. Dixon McMakin's up next. What you say, brother?
I don't know why, but when you just did it's local, you gave that a little extra, like it's local. You gave it a little extra. Good seeing you too.
He's been on fire with the flare this week.
Who?
Right.
Oh.
It's caffeine. It's all caffeine.
I don't even drink caffeine. This is crazy. Well, I guess I do with Diet Coke. I get migraines, so I don't do it. I'm just
Interestingly enough, caffeine solves my headaches.
I'm just me.
Kill Mike's, please. 818 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. State Representative Dixon McMakin is in the house. How are you, brother?
Hey, great to be with you, Brian. Brian, mornings with Brian Haldane. You know, everyone loves mornings without Brian Haldane, but
I understand
we'll
that. And look, we got to get the session over with so we can get you back in,
there
right?
we go. Yeah.
It's good. That would just be overloading your day a little bit, wouldn't it?
Hey, anytime you need me, you know I'm here for you.
No, I know that. I know that. I'm just trying not to put too much on your plate.
Yeah. No,
You got enough going on.
Hey,
Because we also got go ahead.
give some to a busy man. It gets done.
That's right. That's how he became busy in the first place. So there's a lot going on across downtown right now, but there's a lot going on over at the Secretary of State's office, the State Archives, because early voting is underway. And we all on May 16th, every last one of us needs to go out and vote on May 16th because there's a Senate race, there's not a congressional race. And then there are the Supreme Court race and 5 constitutional amendments.
Yep.
That's what I want to talk about today. If we can focus on just that for right now. I want to start with numbers 3 and 4. And if we have time for anything else, we'll get into it. But 3 and 4 to me are 2's a no-brainer for me. So we'll move past 2. 2, I'm a big yes. But 3 and 4, let's talk about them a little bit, because if you really want to see change in the state of Louisiana, you have to vote yes sometimes on amendments. It amazes me, Dixon, when you hear people say, everything sucks in this state. Well, how are you voting on the amendments? No. Well, you're both saying everything sucks and you want to keep it exactly the same.
Yeah, and we've done a great job the last couple of years, under the governor, doing standstill budgets, right? We've been really taking a look at our finances. Mm-hmm. Me as a financial advisor, that's always very important to me. Mm-hmm. So I think amendments 3 and 4 kind of bring that finance brain to the amendment world as well. And one's with teacher payments and one's with the inventory tax. And like you said, look, every year we talk about, look, we need some change. We need to get better. We are competing, not regionally. We're competing on a national level now. And we need to make sure that our teachers are going to get that pay raise, and we're going to try to get rid of that inventory tax in Louisiana.
So let's start with the teacher pay raise, because this one's the one that's near and dear to my heart. I'm the son of a teacher. My wife teaches, she teaches part-time and she's in the front office the rest of the time. So, but this one should matter to all of us. How did we come about getting the money to give teachers a permanent pay raise as opposed to that stipend we've been doing for the past couple of years?
Yeah. So of course, think about it like this. Think about you have a credit card with a bad interest rate, but on the side, you got some money in your bank account that's not your checking account, that's in your savings account. Mm-hmm. So for years and years and years, you've been letting that debt build up on your credit card, not saving enough money and paying it down.
Right.
Well, now with a standstill budget and how we've been doing finances at the Capitol, we're saying, hey, let's take that money that's on the side, that's earning a low interest rate, and let's pay off that debt finally to get it in line. That's something now I think that under our governor and our legislature now, we're taking an active role in looking at our finances. So we're going to pay off that debt. And when you pay off that debt, that frees up the payment that you were making. So instead of paying, a credit card company or a debt company, that money's in your pocket.
Right.
And when it's in your pocket, we can give the teachers a pay raise. It's going to be over $2,250 for teachers, $1,150 for all support staff. And to me, it's a no-brainer. And if the teachers get paid more, let's keep more teachers here. Let's educate the youth. I mean, the ripple effects are just going to be positive for Louisiana.
They will be generational.
Yeah.
Absolutely generationally positive for Louisiana because, you have better teachers, you get better quality education. You have a better quality education. You have a more well-trained workforce. A more well-trained workforce is going to mean higher salaries for everyone a generation from now. This builds things up the way they're supposed to be. Now, another part of this with amendment number 3 is where that money's coming from. It wasn't just money that's just sitting there. It comes from a trust fund that, as I understand it, a trust fund that's literally been sitting there since Miami Vice was on the air.
Yeah, I think longer than I've been alive. And like we said, it's been sitting there, and the way the law kind of reads, it can't really be invested to make a big return for us. It has to be in a standstill kind of investments, money market fund. So once again, you're earning low interest on one side, but you have a debt that has higher interest.
Right.
I think about this is the Dave Ramsey of government is what we're trying to do right now. Everyone kind of knows Dave Ramsey, have a little bit of savings and then pay off your debt.
Right.
So we're trying to pay off that debt. We've done it a couple times now. We paid off police retirement debt.
Yeah.
And we saw the benefit that had for them. So now we're saying, let's take it to the teachers' retirement system and do that as well. It's no new taxes, by the way. This is money that's already sitting there. So we're not asking the people for more new money. It's already sitting there, not doing what it needs to do, pay off the debt, give teachers the pay raise.
Now, after that one particular, or after the trust fund that pays into this is taken care of, if we wanted to rebuild that trust fund, y'all have shown the track record over the last couple of years of keeping a flatline budget or keeping a neutral budget. We would have the opportunity to rebuild that should we so choose. But I think the bigger part of this is like it's literally just been sitting there, and this is the bigger part of this is it's isolated as well.
Yeah, it's very specific.
This does not give y'all carte blanche to go raiding every trust fund out there.
Correct. Just these trust funds that go specifically towards our teachers. I think last year we had an amendment. It didn't pass, and I think some people were kind of it was too broad.
Right.
This one we went in with that rifle approach, very specific. Get that scaffold, do exactly what we need to do, and we've had support from the teachers, seeing statewide support as well. And think about those teachers. My granddad was a teacher. Your family's teachers. Everyone knows a teacher out there has a great teacher, has a great experience. This is the opportunity now for us to put more money into their pocket to help educate the youth.
Absolutely. State Representative Dixon McMakin is in. We're talking about a couple of the amendments that are on your ballot right now over through early voting at the Secretary of State's office or coming up on May 16th when we all go to the polls. All right, let's pivot over real quick to amendment number 4, because I think this takes a little more explanation because it's a little bit more nuanced when it comes to parish by parish opting for the inventory tax versus what's on the ballot.
Yeah. So the inventory tax, let's first start with that. What is the inventory tax? This is where the government taxes what you have as a business. So I think the main one that always comes to people's mind, car dealerships, right? When car dealerships, they have cars on the lot, you're getting taxed for just having that car on the lot.
Right.
A jewelry store for just having it in your store.
Right.
It's not in the commerce at that time. It's just sitting there, but we tax it here and we say, look, you have it in there, you have it on the road, you have it on your store, we're going to tax it. Other states don't do this, trying to be competitive. But to go to a statewide system, just to get rid of it across the state, we found was going to be very difficult. So let's say each parish now can choose. And if they choose to do that, we're going to allow them to choose to do that, but they will lose a little bit of money because they currently are taxing that. So the state is going to give you some money to cover your losses as you transition out of that. And what we feel like is going to happen, let's say you have a car dealership in a place that does not have an inventory tax versus one that does. They're going to want to go where there is no inventory tax. So the businesses are going to come into those parishes, not only moving internally in Louisiana, but getting them from Texas, Mississippi, Arkansas, other states that do have that inventory tax. Bring those businesses here, have them here. And then when you have people here, Brian, what does that mean?
Means more jobs, means more income, more property, more sales, more every other form of tax that's going to come out of it. So if you are that municipality, if you are that parish, then that's how you balance the books right there. Say, yeah, we're going to take a dip on the inventory tax. State's going to prop us for a little while. What is it, 2 years or one?
1 to 3 years.
1 to 3 years. State's going to prop us for 1 to 3 years. And then from there, when you see more business move into town, move back across state lines from Mississippi or Texas, it's going to make a huge difference. Now, part of this is even by voting yes for this amendment, your individual parish can still hang on to it if you want to.
Yeah, so that's the idea. We are going to now allow that you have to vote yes. We want people to vote yes to allow the parishes to do this. Kind of weird. Of course, how our system's set up a little different than most. Another subject for another time. But go out there, vote yes. Let your parish then have the opportunity to have another vote to say, yes, we want this in our parish or not. Look, Governor Landry, Secretary Susan Bourgeois, we've had over $100 billion investment come into our state since we've taken office. In those conversations, they talk about the inventory tax with companies. So there's another opportunity to bring more jobs, more businesses to your parish and Louisiana.
Well, and we're entering a world right now where business is different and we're pivoting on different things. And the question becomes, what is inventory? And that can get so murky. Like, think about a data center.
Yeah.
What would you consider the inventory of a data center? The hard drives that are in there or the information?
Exactly.
So it's such a murky world, and we have so many opportunities to lose next generation businesses because this is hanging over our heads.
Yeah, it's all about having I love this quote, the opportunity to compete. So this is going to let those parishes and our state now have the opportunity to compete. Right now, we don't have that ability. So voting yes on Amendment 4 gives those parishes the opportunity to go vote, and then they're going to have that opportunity to compete. I really think, Brian, the parishes that are going to take advantage of this, they're going to lose a little bit right in the beginning, but the long-term gain they're going to have is going to be tremendous. And they can look back on this vote that they're going to take now to vote yes on Amendment 4 and say, we did it. We kind of took a little risk, but boy, did that risk pay off in the long run.
Well, if you want change, the only way to change things is to stop voting no for everything.
Right.
It's just when we see amendments on the ballot, the number of people that glaze over is so disgusting. And if you dislike the amendment, I'm not arguing with that. I'm just saying the people that just say no across the board.
Yeah. So you look on Amendment 3, I find it very difficult to say you're going to vote no for a teacher pay raise because that's exactly what it is. On Amendment 4, it's hard to believe you're going to vote no to allow your parish to have a vote to compete. Those don't make sense to me. And people that are voting no, they're just voting no to vote no. But hopefully getting this information out there. Obviously, early voting today, tomorrow, and Saturday. And then, of course, next week, the election. Talked to the Secretary of State yesterday, right? The line over at Essen, in and out. People are in and out right now, super quick. Downtown, we have one here as well at the old courthouse. Get out there, go vote. These amendments were very thoughtful, specific. Teacher pay raise is a vote yes on number 3. The opportunity to compete to get rid of the inventory tax is a yes vote on amendment number 4.
Last one before we get you out. And yeah, by the way, the early voting, I have always been a traditionalist when it comes to just rejecting early voting, saying, no, I go on election day. I bring my kids just to teach them along the way. I took advantage of early voting last time, and I don't know if I'm ever going back. I'm always like, I'm sold on early voting very quickly.
Yeah, and then look, if you have any doubts, you can go to the Secretary of State's website. You can see that your name populates and it says you voted. So they know that you voted. Go in there, check it off, and get it done. Let's vote for Louisiana's future.
He is State Representative Dixon McMakin. I knew we were going to run out of time based off of those two amendments because they both, number one, they're both unbelievably worthwhile. And number two, they both have very, very clear cases for, one of them is just giving you the option to say, to get rid of it's just the option. And the other one is for our teachers. So Representative McMakin, we always appreciate the time, man.
Thanks, Brian. Have a great day.
You do the same. 8:30 at Talk 107.3 FM. It is Travel and Tourism Week. It is Travel and Tourism Day. Jill Kidder from Visit Baton Rouge joins us next. Oh.
Thank you, sir.
No, thank you.
Greatly
appreciate it.
How about this? Check the Comic-Con. Is getting out of the House appropriations next week. Hopefully off the floor at the end of next week, going to the Senate. The Constitutional Convention bill. How about that?
I was debating whether or not I wanted to carve out a minute and a half for that because
when that happens, I'll come back.
If we're talking about amendments, how do you stop having 50 amendments on every ballot?
So
Bye.
I had to go talk to the Senate, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll do it." So the convention's not until 28. So we're talking about
I know, right?
yeah. So. All right. Did you see the Chambers video? No. Please. But I started with last week. You'll be like,
Hey, make sure we're off. Yep.
How's that damn TikTok thing stuck in my head?
Okay.
Isolation. These are the battles that so many people face every day. But it doesn't have to be this way. Now, Gail doesn't suffer like she used to, thanks to TMS therapy at Neurojust, a minimally invasive treatment proven to improve depression without the side effects of medication.
Now I can put shopping on that home, cook, put clothes in the laundry. I can do multiple things. I don't never did this. 22 years.
Start your healing journey today with your free consultation at Neurojust. Call 225-755-9733. 225-755-9733. That's 225-755-9733. Talk 107.3 weather.
For your Thursday, we have continued to trend drier. We will have some spotty to isolated showers throughout the course of the morning as the cold front works its way through the area. By the afternoon and evening, this front is stalling down near the coast, and we will be mainly dry with only a shower or two area-wide. Highs will be in the upper 70s under mainly cloudy skies. Overnight lows in the middle 60s. A few showers will remain possible. We turn very active on Friday with numerous showers and storms. I'm meteorologist Balin Rogers with your Storm Station forecast. WBRC Channel 2.
Election coverage. Reporting results. He's now doing the work before, during, and after the vote. In 2026, Talk 107.3 did it again, winning their sixth.
We did. Oh my God.
Best election coverage.
I'm being stupid.
Well, we're gonna be on our way to a seventh when we can pull footage from a certain news show.
Even if it was bad, submit it.
No, it'll just be video, no audio. It'll be a voiceover.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, I'll make them making me look bad look good.
Right.
This is, what are we doing? I don't even know.
I'm not supposed to laugh. What is going on?
Well, you tell me. You're the one pushing buttons. It's 8:38 to Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Yes, mornings with Brian Haldane is in hour 3, halfway through hour 3. In fact, I'm gonna be out of here pretty soon. We got Jill Kidder from Visit Baton Rouge on the hotline. We're gonna get to her in just a quick second. I do need one moment of personal privilege, though. Okay, Mother's Day is coming up on Sunday. All right, guys, if your wife or your mom is a big crawfish lover or shrimp lover or jambalaya lover, we've got you covered over at Our Lady of Mercy. My Axe brothers, every year around Mother's Day, put together a big crawfish fundraiser. It's the Paul Cat Memorial Crawfish Boil, for those of y'all that know, love, and remember Paul Cat. The fundraiser is coming up. It is for Mother's Day weekend. So Saturday at the Parish Activity Center, which is just off Marquette. You know where Our Lady of Mercy is, right there in Mid-City. $25 gets you 5 pounds of crawfish. That includes an order of corn and potatoes. Boiled shrimp will get you $10 per pound, get you in and out. If you want extra corn and potatoes, it's $3 per order. And, of course, they've got a jambalaya box for $12. That box feeds 2 people. So basically $6 a head on the jambalaya, but it comes in a package for 2 people. So Saturday, May 9th at the PAC over there at Our Lady of Mercy. If you wanted to just show up, I believe you can do that. Or call 926-1883, 926-1883. Nope, you can't show up. It is pre-order only. I'm glad I looked at that. 926-1883. $25 gets you 5 pounds of crawfish, $10 per pound on shrimp. And then the jambalaya is 2 people's, a serving for 2 people for $12. All right, it is time for all week long. It's been Travel and Tourism Week. Visiting us right now from Visit Baton Rouge, we've got Jill Kidder on the hotline. Jill, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Brian. I'm doing great. How about you?
I could not be better. Rocking and rolling this whole week. I mean, we're almost got the week in the rear view, almost, but we're moving through it. So, Travel and Tourism Week. What do y'all do at Visit Baton Rouge for this week?
Yeah, well, it's really a tradition around the country. It started with the U.S. Travel Association, which we're a member of. And it really is to recognize the role, the central role that travel and tourism play in, powering our economy and making, our communities special and full of quality of life things that we can offer our residents and our tourists.
And what are those offers? What, because when we talk about the role of tourism, it's growing, it's evolving. It's not what it used to be. I mean, right now, tourism, we're in the sports space in a big way. Baton Rouge is really not just planting its feet in this world, but really growing our footprint into so many different areas of sports tourism.
Yeah, we really are. And but in addition to sports tourism, there is the family travel aspect of it. Friends and family is really the number one reason why people travel to Baton Rouge. And with our museums and our budget-friendly options, I think it's just easy access for road trippers to get here and family. And it's a great family experience. Everybody wants to come and see our history and visit Mike the Tiger and go to the zoo and, and go to our Capitol and see the river. It's just absolutely a great destination for families. But, another reason, Brian, is our food. I say it all the time. We're the best of everything in Louisiana.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that has to do with the political culture here. People have traveled in here from all over our state. And so we've got influences from all over our state in our food. And now with 2 area restaurants, including the first ever American South Michelin Guide, our food scene has never been stronger. And, we have worked with Michelin now. This year will be our 2nd year. And although we can't tell them where to go or who to look at, and we don't know when they come in the market and look at our restaurants, they're doing that and they're evaluating us. And so we're thrilled about that. And then, I think college athletics certainly has always been one of the things that we hang our hat on. It's a halo that brand that we are able to work through and under. It's just absolutely a wonderful experience for folks here. And it's getting national recognition now. We've got people out globally now working on getting international tourists here. And those international tourists are interested in it. And you said youth sports. I think that's probably one of our biggest opportunities. And certainly right now, we're working with 3 organizations who want to build big facilities here that, if they come about, will be game changers. That's not to mention the LSU Arena and the redevelopment of the River Center. So things could really start to pop in the next few years with youth sports. And we're already punching above our weight there.
Right.
And so, I think that it's just such an exciting time for Baton Rouge.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. And on the youth sports front, it's like I'm in that world right now, so I understand the drive behind it. I understand that you just write the check and keep on moving. My daughter plays AAU basketball, so I'm definitely in that world of how it became so successful, why it is so important, and why it's also sustainable to make the investment. I mean, it clicks on all levels.
It does. And as I said, we are definitely punching above our weight in this area already.
Yep.
And if we get these, facilities, which we have been lacking, I think that we're going to be able to get, youth basketball and more youth cheer and dance and volleyball than we've ever gotten before. And so I'm just thrilled that people are wanting to make these kinds of investments in our parish.
Talk to me a little bit about that, the diversity of what sports are out there, because I mean, normally when you think about travel ball, you think about baseball, but there are so many different sports that keep parents and kids on the road. Where are you mentioned cheer, you mentioned what else that's in that mix? Dance,
cheer,
okay.
dance.
So
competitions, volleyball, pickleball. I mean, you just name it.
What kind of facilities will we need for cheer and dance? I mean, is it just an arena?
Well, that's part of it. Certainly, the arena will be on that list of assets. But I think what they're looking for is more of that flat surface, 100 to 150,000 square foot facility that's indoor, high ceilings, that mats could be placed down, and either gymnastics, cheer, dance, all of those things, need those high ceilings, as well as basketball and volleyball.
Right.
So those are all sports that we're looking to grow our market. We've got great baseball and softball and other facilities, but those other sporting events that I'm talking about are really our growth area.
Jill Kidder from Visit Baton Rouge is our guest. I didn't mean to take it over by talking nothing but sports here, because you got a lot that you're covering. Well, I mean, to put a recap on sports, I believe later on this morning, we're finally going to learn what the final numbers were for the U.S. Bowling Congress last year.
Yeah, and in fact, I'll just share with you. The U.S. Bowling Congress Open Championship brought in over 59,000 bowlers. That's bowlers. And those bowlers brought in over 90,000 family members and friends with them. So we're looking at about 140,000 people who came in because of that bowling congress. And they spent over this time period. They were in and out, of course. They weren't the same folks every week, but over 150-day time frame, those folks visited us, and they bowl for 21 hours a day. And for all of those 150 days in what was a transformed Raising Cane's River Center into 54 fantastic lanes. And so, that is economic impact that is just unmatched. It is probably the biggest event as far as attendees and participants are concerned, or one of the biggest in the country.
Got a couple minutes left with Jill Kidder. Can we pivot back over to the food? Because you mentioned we have a Michelin star restaurant now. And I as that process unfolded, first of all, I was shocked with who landed it. Not shocked because I love them, but shocked because like a place that I go to is now Michelin. Talk to me a little bit about where we're at and what the process is going to be like for us to land possibly another one.
Yeah, we're keeping our fingers crossed. As I said, we don't know when the folks are coming in to review our restaurants. We don't know what restaurants they're reviewing. They normally go back to the restaurants that they have reviewed and are placed in the guide. Now, Elsie's and the Saint up in St. Francisville don't have stars yet, but that could be their path. What this first step is that they're being mentioned in the guide. And this is the first ever guide for the South. Even New Orleans didn't have a Michelin star restaurant.
Right.
No, none. And had not been mentioned in the Michelin guide until last year. And all of us, DMOs across the Southeast, bought into this program with Michelin and said, please come take a look at us. We have been left out for so long. We want you to see what we have to offer. And they were blown away. I don't know if you know, but Emerald restaurant in New Orleans is the only 2-star restaurant in the Southeast area in our area.
Right.
And they were named last year, and it was just amazing to see Emerald and his son up on stage receiving those 2 stars. It is so unusual for a restaurant to go from nothing to 2 stars immediately. And so, we're just so proud. And so it gives us hope that that's moving up that river and going to be they're going to be taking a look at Baton Rouge. So we put all of our restaurants on alert to be sure,
Absolutely.
to be prepared, be on your best game, because it really does mean a great deal. And if you ask Elsie's, the folks who own, Paul and his wife, that own Elsie's, what has happened to them since that guide, since they were placed in that guide, they will tell you their businesses exploded.
Absolutely,
and
it is.
So I think that's the recognition that we need, and it allows us to promote all of the other restaurants in the area and say, look, guys, we do have great food here, and if you're traveling for that, or if you enjoy that while you're traveling, Baton Rouge is the place to do it.
She is Jill Kidder with Visit Baton Rouge. It's Travel and Tourism Week all week long. Big numbers coming out later on today. Jill, we always appreciate the time.
Thank you so much for asking, Brian.
Of course.
Y'all have a great
always.
day.
You too. We'll talk soon. It is 8:51. Quick break. We'll close it out next. Just play my interview on the way back in, and you're probably going to run out of time. But did you listen for if it says May 6th or 7th? All right. Guys, I gotta go. I gotta get to my kids' school. We'll see y'all. No, leave it for the audio. It's a saga we were all following, but where is it right now? News Nation is bringing you the Nancy Guthrie mystery, and we've got Brian Enton on with us to talk about it. How are you, sir?
Hey, good. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you for tackling this because I felt like we were all dialed in until we weren't. So while the rest of the nation dialed out, News Nation picked it up and ran with it. So where are we right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's been 3 months since Nancy Guthrie vanished. I went to Tucson the day after she went missing, and I was there pretty much for 2 months straight, and then every week since. And we were putting together this special. It's going to be on the CW Wednesday night, 9:00 Eastern, where we go back to the very beginning, and we go through everything we've learned since the beginning. We've got a ton of sources close to the investigation. And then we put together this panel of retired FBI profilers, gave them all the information we have and said, what do you think happened? Who do you think is responsible? What do you think the motive is? And it's really interesting to see what they came up with.
Can you give us any kind of spoilers at all? I know I know you don't want to spoil the whole thing, but are we given some good leads on the back end?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So they don't think it's a ransom, which is interesting. They think the ransom could be masquerading for something else.
Mm-hmm.
There's just not a lot of the telltale signs of what happens in real ransoms. There was never a proof of life, which, typically whoever took someone would show a video of them or would show a picture or play a part of their voice saying, hey, this is proof that we actually have the person. That never happened. And also the fact that those ransom letters went to the media, TMZ, and then also the local TV stations is really, really unusual. Mm-hmm. So the profilers said, look, like this just does not look like a ransom. We think there's something else going on here. And what that motive really is, there's a couple on the table that they talk about. Could it be a Savannah Guthrie stalker, someone who just wanted to get an emotional rise out of her? That seems like that could be a real possibility.
Really? Okay. So I was wondering if there was a particular angle that this was all funneling towards, because I know while it was going on, everybody had their own theory. And I don't know how you whittle those away, but were you able to whittle a number of them away?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of people online who seem to think there could be a family member involved. The sheriff has said that everyone in the family has been cleared. We have a source who says that there were polygraphs given to family members and that everybody passed. So, that I think can be whittled away at this point. But in terms, there's a lot of other things that remain on the table. Look, it doesn't appear to me to be a burglary gone wrong. I know that was the theory early on, but there was nothing taken in the house from the sources that I have, what they've told me. The house was described as immaculate to me. So it's a very strange situation. I mean, you look back at statistics with abductions, it's almost always children. There's almost never elderly people abducted, let alone in the middle of the night with really no sign of where they were taken.
Brian Enton is the host of News Nation Presents the Nancy Guthrie Mystery. Brian, I got to ask you your gut on this one. I mean, will this eventually be solved?
I think it will. I mean, I still don't know, obviously, what the motive is. We don't know who the suspect is, but I can say pretty confidently, I do think it'll be solved just because there's this task force put together. You've got FBI agents, you've got local detectives. They only work on this case full time, ton of resources. And there's still the potential of really good DNA evidence. There's a hair that was found in the house that's been sent to the FBI that they're still testing. That stuff takes quite a bit of time. So I think in the end, the DNA is going to pan out, or there'll just be some kind of lucky break. Some tip comes in